Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tales of Elordial, A Wound in the Wind. We are Myth and Mischief.
Wait, but this arc's supposed to be over.
Indeed, that was so dramatic. Yeah, this is kind of
I just got so confused. But what?
But it was last week.
Yeah.
Get ready for the bonus content.
Pretty much. So this is going to be a bit of an epilogue that we're doing here. Whether it's called episode 13 or epilogue 1 or something.
12.5.
Who knows? This was, because, last session we moved on from the peninsula and it was like, we really would like to actually have some time to talk to a few characters and things like that. So we're here.
It's been a stressful time.
Very.
It's good to not have
Monkey
a heart attack
madness.
while playing.
Enter the star wipe fade. Previously on Myth and Mischief.
I'm not doing that.
Welcome to the prequels.
All
I
right,
decided, no. Let's do it.
let's get into it.
Yeah! Woo!
Immediately.
What was that?
You're literally laughing at
leave it.
nothing.
No, because you moved like you farted when you went 1, 2, 3. I thought you farted.
Monkey.
This is just real D&D, isn't it? Everyone's talking shit.
If there was any session for us to be a mess, this is the one.
All right.
It is
So-
just this one. Alright, I'll stop.
So, the party, the group that has now met and become a party, first met in the village of 10 Trees. On Vernalia Eve, an outsider, an exiled somewhat soldier, a village elder, and an actor.
That's a your thing, sorry. Copyright, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that.
All met for disparate reasons and found themselves drawn into events bigger than them. A little bit. Just a little bit. As the sky, torn asunder, was guarded by a god, Aetul, who is the wind, come to prevent whatever calamity, or at least stem it. You helped the village, worked out something of what happened, the culprit partially behind what happened, and were left with more questions than answers. And only really one way to answer them. Setting out into the wider world and looking for a way to fix what had happened.
Oh, quest.
And you've done so well.
Yes, you were quickly embroiled in the problem of being unable to leave this local region because, well, with a massive event, natural disaster thing that was maybe not so natural having happened, martial law had been declared, and such. The characters needed a way off with their new friend.
Damn you,
A
Marshall.
portion,
Damn you.
Hurry up.
a
Get your shit
portion
together.
of the shattered sky,
What up?
who is as yet unnamed.
It's raining Devin.
Hallelujah. In dealing with these local politics, a conflict between the Latoikifheim, the local Furbolg people, and the Lady Fidel de Costroca about logging isolate trades.
She's tough, huh? Hey, we didn't kill her.
I know.
Eventually,
We did
managed to just walk straight down the middle, really refusing to take a side. Like, I tried so hard, really refusing to take a side, and ending up managing to get both Jost and Vihanta on your side.
Best outcome.
We did a count.
Arresting
Hey!
the lady.
We rolled persuasion on the DM.
We sat on the fence.
you bio-aired me. I was like, it's a win-lose-lose situation, and you were like, no, we have high enough persuasion skills. We can do this. Anyway.
Fuck!
So, there, as Lady de Costroca was taken off to prison by Jost, and Rakatam and the Furbolg returned backing away from the town. You spent a day or so there before Vihanta snuck you onto with a distraction. The Makota's Bounty. A ship moored in a smuggler's cove that now sails away to who knows what destination. Which is where we will come back into it. As
We don't have the ship.
That's why we needed the battle cam.
We don't. I mean, it's big enough. It just is in the camera. Still don't need the battle camera. It just fits.
It's for us to.
Yeah.
I would visualize.
Oh my god!
ooh,
Shit music.
I am definitely holding one of. I don't know anything about ships. I'm definitely holding one of the ropes, just like hanging off the side. Wind in my hair.
so
Hang on, wait. They're 16. Yeah, I look great.
So the ship does sail away with presumably Captain Redhorn reclaiming that title.
Oh, hang on. What are our crew positions? What are our titles?
Rock.
I'm the captain now.
I mean, yeah, but what is everyone else?
Can I be the anchor?
Dibs on first mate. I want to be first mate.
I literally want to be so far away from the water as possible.
So you're in
So
the
you're
crow's nest.
lookout.
Sure, I'm lookout. I'm not looking at anything.
What do you do? What's your role?
Cool.
I've not worked on a ship before, so
You just kind of like
I'm also
good
lookout.
hustle people.
So typical roles that do need to be fulfilled are first mate, yes, captain, bosun, it's a very important one. That is the ship repairer, mechanic, basically. Then there's
Navigator.
navigator, but that is often done by either the bosun or the first mate. You also need deck hands.
How's this about?
Actually, that makes sense for me because we're going to Mavid.
And this is a genuinely difficult question here. Is do you have enough hands to sail this ship?
Probably not.
So this ship is a cutter, which means it is able to be sailed by a small crew. You guys are going to be working your asses off. There's no room for someone to be like,
I've played
sitting
Sea of
down
Thieves.
while the ship's sailing. It's
Right.
like you're tying sails and stuff as with the current amount of crew.
So cool that the hunter joined the party.
Can't believe Josh just jumped in.
Yeah,
Last minute.
weird.
Emmett just showed up.
well, hey,
That would be great if it just became fucking. He only works in the ship and nothing else.
well, hey, you never know.
Picking
Maybe
up.
there might be some characters that joined you before you left. We can find out because
Yeah,
we're doing a bit of a weird timey-wimey
yeah.
D&D thing. So, as the wind, strong and wild, whips out, and you're aware that at some points that the god of the wind being indisposed may make sailing difficult. But for now,
Oh god.
you have clear winds, strong winds and clear waters. What are we all doing?
Regretting that I didn't look up boats before we played this
Yeah,
game.
same.
I poor choices were made. This was the time. Didn't do it.
You're wearing like the ship's captain hat and everything.
Well, I'm a train conductor, but trains don't exist. So.
Well, as the anchor, I've got a pretty easy job. I'm just strapped to the back of the boat, just waiting.
Yeah, I like to think that you are still doing that, but you've changed your density, so you're just being dragged across the ocean floor, but you're like completely still, just like.
we can ski on you.
I have a surfboard, hop on.
Yeah. All right.
Does rocks float on water?
Get on, bitches, we're going shopping.
So, does anyone have anything in particular that they would like to?
Well, the first thing Knives would have wanted to do is take it back to port to get the name of the ship changed because it's a smuggler ship.
We
Yes,
leave it
so,
a bit like,
Just okay. There's
Can we even do that?
you would So you would straight up no. Bad idea. You've stolen the ship. You take it back into a port.
I think that's a bad idea.
So you need
Does it have a port?
You would need to change the name
somewhere else.
somewhere else.
Okay.
Because this ship was on the registry, but it had departed. So you can fairly remember that registry that you looked at. You can just give me an investigation check.
No, you were about to give it to me for free.
But now I'm not.
How far is the trip to Sentinel Isles?
What's that?
How far is the trip to the Sentinel Isles?
The trip to the Sentinel Isles is. I need my map.
It's 16 plus things.
Cool. Yeah. All right. You're good. So the general, like,
Rule of thumb.
hang on, I'm going to change the music so it'll be a little calmer. So,
Yes, I'm not.
you did see on the registry, Makota's bounty was on the registry and had just departed a few days before, which means that quite likely what had happened was there was official business that was done in the port as some kind of cover or something like that.
Yep.
And then they've gone to the Smuggler's Cove to offload or to pick up or whatever. You guys at this point, you've just set out, you can see like behind you, smugglers are like, ah, and the hunter or what, yeah. But you haven't actually explored the ship or anything. You're just on the ship right now. So, you don't know what they might have been smuggling. If you have no idea.
Let's explore the ship.
Yeah, I want a pirate ship.
TNT.
Felix is excited as fuck. Pirate ship, hell yeah.
I am crouched in the, I don't know, a corner somewhere, like
rocking.
just like
That's
oh god, oh god.
Don't be in the crow's nest if you get seasick. It's
Yeah, no, the crow's nest
weird
is the
you
worst
get
part.
seasick. 'Cause
Yeah, but
you are
it's
just
the furthest away from water.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can see, like okay, so are you like looking for a place away from water?
That would be ideal.
Cool. So as soon as you're up on the deck and you're out over the water, you can see there is a trapdoor with a ladder leading down.
No, that's closer to the water.
It is closer, but it's
Then
also
you
going to
can't
have walls.
see the water.
Otherwise, there
That's actually a good point.
is also at the.
captain's quarters in the back.
I'm trying to remember
Central
what it's
post
the.
that holds up the sails.
What's that
The
thing?
mast?
Yeah, I like to think you're I like to think you're clung to the mast like a cat.
Is it a
All of
car?
your
Yeah.
fur is like
It's the castle at the back of the ship, the raised bit. That is the captain's quarters. Now
Above the captain's quarters.
there's a specific name for it, but there's also like the raised castle at the back of the ship
We're good at boats.
with a door in it.
we did our
as
research.
well. So that's somewhere potentially sheltered too.
I'll go down. Well, no, I'll go
I've
up.
forgotten it all.
I'll go up and then realise that I can only see water, and then go down.
So you start to climb the rigging.
because I'm like away from the water, and I'm like, oh, there's so much water.
And you guys
Then
can
back up.
all see Anielloa kind of panicking.
full on panicking. Actually, yep, fully going underground.
Felix is having a lot of fun. He probably doesn't notice, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yet.
Does anyone else pay any attention to the panicking friend?
Can someone please deal with Anielloa?
You're the captain. You don't direct the ship.
Do now.
Okay, cool.
Can steal the ship.
Juniper is also a little bit panicking. It's not every day that she leaves her homeland.
Or steal the ship. And he's doing bad.
Yeah, I'm not.
okay.
I mean,
I'm just fucking
I was on a
amazed by
high
what this water
from
is.
last night, but this is going to take some unpacking. Why don't we go have a look down below?
Sure.
They might.
There's no water down there.
No.
Okay,
No.
down.
Okay. So as you do go to help the panicking Annie, and you do have that moment of having to still your own feelings about leaving for maybe the first time ever, or at least the first time in a very, very long time. Is there anything that you sort of, think back to, anything at all? What's going through Juniper's mind?
I think her identity would be tied to her homeland, to the people that are there and the way that they perceive her as a person, as a leader and an elder and sort of like a celebrity of that time. So leaving this place where she has a home, she has a place amongst the people, she's basically going to be nameless somewhere else, amongst a different community, probably not amongst politicians and other political people, but in terms of the community, she will just be like any other common folk.
Yeah. And
Famous here.
you do sort of, if I may, flash back to a conversation just before you left with Lady Shire Omelon.
Starlight.
Where
Same conversation.
where after the events of, in the town where you sort of inspired up these people to rise up against Lady de Costroca, and then there was this sort of power vacuum just immediately left. Lady Omelon looked to you and went, "So, my lady, you're just going to step in? Take her place?"
Oh, I don't think I can do that right now.
But the people here, they'll respect and need you. You inspired them.
Oh, I have no doubt that they respect me, but I have greater issues to attend to right now.
You mean to fix that?
Well,
Yeah.
I need to try.
It does feel like the end times sometimes when you look up at that, doesn't it? Well, who will run Costroca then? Who is to be in charge?
I have full confidence in you and your associates to choose somebody who will be a great leader.
Okay. All right. We'll work it out. Such a shame Buro's indisposed. Lord de Calgaria's input would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would recommend it. Well,
What? What's wrong with the burrow? We need to go back to Tendrils.
We're not there.
I don't know. I was thinking of like you need like a local representative.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. His input would have been good, but it's okay. Whoever it is going to have to be able to stand up to Duke de Sutelan. Make sure our interests are looked after and he doesn't run all over us.
Yeah.
We'll do our best.
I know that in the meantime, Buro will be able to help you guys out if you need anything, and you can certainly travel to see him and get his advice.
Oh, you didn't hear? He's gone. He's en route to Argenset as we speak.
Oh, I hadn't heard. We've had quite a busy few days.
There was a summons from the king to answer questions about what happened in Tentries, and he is Duke of Calgaria. He's there to try to sort whatever this is, or heading there. He'll be on the road for weeks.
Oh, well, there's certainly other elders that you can consult with.
Yeah,
And
we'll be fine. Hey, maybe we can work with the Furbolg for once.
yeah,
Turkey
absolutely.
Vane, the Van Kane.
This is a time to unite with our neighbours.
No, we should never really have been separate from them.
No.
They did it. Flidel's vendetta was foolish. Alright. Well, good luck on the journey then.
Thank you. I'll write.
Please, do.
Yeah.
And I won't, because I'll have no idea where you'll be. But please do. Alright. Farewell then. And then she goes off to, she starts talking to some other nobility, and one of them goes, you just hear, so did she say yes? She's gonna take charge? She's like, no. And then they're like they're starting. Suddenly they're like, fuck, we don't have a leader. We just ousted our leader. What are we doing?
Speed walks away.
Lady Omelon's just kind of like, calm down, we're waiting. But you're just like, ooh. cool, I'm out.
Fuck this shit. Moon walks out of the
So
I face step like.
Can that be a dance move? The face step.
it should be.
Yes.
I feel like everything the Fae do is a dance move though, so like, so that, you know, your mind coming back to now as you descend down into the first deck. So this ship has top deck, and then, I wish I had the model out, I think it has 2 more below that. It's
I caught a wood.
yeah. It may have I think it does have a hold underneath that, like right down into the hull. But there's like 2 sort of walkable decks, otherwise it is literally like, yeah, you could put crates down there, but you couldn't live down there.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a prison.
Hi.
What's that?
Unless you're in a prison.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
You're not gonna have to
bring
loot
down that.
on the, you know,
Yeah.
those regular levels.
So stepping down into this second level, it is quite dark down here. There's no, like, obviously there is light that comes in through portholes along the side and a bit coming in through the trapdoor above, but it is quite a bit darker, and definitely you can see less of the sea. But looking out at a window, it's just open sky. It's like there's just no land or anything.
Made of flying. This is in character.
Yeah.
This is all in character. Yeah.
Don't look out the window.
I'm looking at the window.
Everything is blue.
In the meantime,
Need to put a horse blind
up on deck, Knives, you're like, I need a rigging. Where'd everyone go?
Swinging on ropes, being an asshole.
Yeah, so literally you're currently trying to sail the ship on your own. You're probably very quickly going, cool, I'm going to need to get this rabble in line. Because yeah, this is like, you can do it now because it's still, as soon as there's more to do, you know, if you need to tack any sails or anything like that, that's, you can't do that while being at a wheel.
This is fine.
You're just super happy.
Down below decks, what you have is, it is more sort of just like decking much the same as above. And it is segmented into rooms. There are quarters down here for sleeping in, so as you sort of go around. I'll get you both to make a perception check.
Scrub that poop deck.
Perception.
Sure thing, man. That actually probably makes sense.
Yeah, no, roll bad.
Yeah. Although my perception is.
The dice are used to
Is
the
actually
punishment.
not.
Yeah.
They crave it now.
Well, you got to show them who's boss.
Yeah. Now they think you're a pushover.
Yeah.
3.
Nice.
That makes sense.
8.
Cool.
So moving on.
Maybe you should, maybe, I don't know, light a pebble? Maybe? Light a pebble?
Yeah, I light a pebble with whatever ability that was. I think it was light.
We're a mess today. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Everyone's like, what's D&D? Who am I?
So, did I pass go on the last time?
Yeah, but you do not collect $200.
It doesn't have to be a
You go to
pebble.
purgatory.
My life sucks.
Go directly
Okay.
to jail.
So
Did we come across like a hat or something? like a sea hat?
So,
You smoke
It's got a skull and crossbones on it.
I wanted to
a
like that.
sea hat. So actually, tons. So this is like down here in the crew quarters. You stole this ship. So you do find, as you sort of, no perception check or anything required, as you're moving around, like you open doors to have a look in some of the quarters and things like that, and you can just see an open chest of belongings, clothes from the people of the ship.
I can finally have things.
I need
There's hats, there's clothes, there's like a couple of cutlasses and things like that lying around still. Basically, most of the gear that this crew had is still on the ship.
And all of their treasures.
Including,
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
including.
That was a good 8 you rolled.
I know.
No, I'll get to that later.
Uh-oh.
Oh, why do you say
I slayed
something?
him. I slayed him. Shit.
Do you put something on?
I want a big
Like-
wicker hat.
A big wicker hat.
Yep.
What?
Do you wear any of the clothing that we
Okay.
find? Or anything?
I find it just like rip it
Just
like over the spikes, just like jam
On a
it.
tricorn.
I am
I now permanently have a big wicker hat.
like a lantern.
So
I'm sure there's lanterns down
yeah,
there.
so
To learn
down
something funny.
in this part of the ship, there's a few sort of dividing walls, but it is still a largely open space with a lot of like crates and things like that. It's quite empty at the moment. Seemingly they actually offloaded everything at Costroca. But yeah, so it's fairly empty. You can also still see the mast running all the way down through the whole ship. And it's a lot quieter down here too. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, crew quarters, so belongings from the crew.
I'm gonna stay down here.
Will you be okay?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
Land.
Do you have Druidcraft?
That is Druidcraft land.
I mean,
Can I mold earth on
live
the
ones.
boat? Can I mold earth on this boat?
The boat slowly just splits in half.
I guess if I can find like a book or something I can give her.
Yeah, a book? Sure, just make an investigation or perception check. See what you can find.
Read. Common. Well, not common.
Oh yeah, can you read?
Well, I'm speaking to you in common.
Yeah, but
mean,
reading and
read
talking
common, though.
is
Can
different.
I read?
It's also not common. It's
Yeah,
I rolled an 18.
I'm incredibly intelligent.
An 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's a few books around. One is like, I mean, you got pretty high. Tell me what book you find it.
How to make friends and influence
What
people.
book?
Moby Wick.
What book did you give Nat?
Naturally
It's-
super.
Yes, bring that back.
Okay.
I'm back around.
Two hot brothers.
It's a harrowing tale of two brothers
And they're running.
their father has gone missing on a hunting trip
Oh,
and he hasn't been heard of in a few days.
oh my! Sounds amazing.
Yes, and it all takes place on land. They actually travel across the lands.
And they don't ride horses.
They
They
never-
ride impalas.
This sounds fantastic.
All right, guys, that's it for this
I knew
week.
you'd like
Thanks for
it.
watching.
It's funny because I've watched one episode. Barely got the
It's also a really great book to read because it just keeps going. Like they
keeps
should have really
going.
ended it at book 5, and then they just sort of kept going.
Three, maybe. Yeah,
The dad comes back
5.
like 20 times and disappears at the end of every episode. Every
I think
page.
this is the one that they never actually die. Ever. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to spoil it.
Thanks heaps.
That's okay.
Juniper.
That's all right.
This Sean spelled with an EAN is so hard.
All right.
Enjoy.
Dean.
Did you change from letters so it's not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just swap the first letter, so it's Sean and Dan. Cool. So you find this book, and Ella, you're able to kind of nestle yourself into one of
literally
these
like-
cabins. Yeah. And you do kind of like lose yourself into the book for a bit, but as you still out of the panic, what's kind of going through your head? Where are you feeling? How are you?
Can you do someone else first?
It's fair. You only had.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've only had 1 week.
Not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, no, don't know.
Okay.
Pass.
So I'll
Give me a leading question.
How are
So-
you feeling?
yeah.
Give me a better one.
So I will drop something in them.
Yeah, thanks.
You, whether or not you ended up helping and saving Jost and getting Lady de Costroca arrested, doesn't actually change the fact that you technically admitted to pulling all of the spiders to that camp. So, that fade thing. What's the? I was thinking, what's the one from like the aardvark?
Oh, Arthur.
Yeah, yeah. They had like a wavy.
Is every flashback scene gonna be in black and white?
Yeah.
with film grain and.
Oh god. More work.
I'm gonna give yourself more work with Jack.
Yep.
Sitting down by the docks with Jost. Same place where you previously sat with him and talked to him. And he's like, so, you do know I still have to arrest you, right?
No.
The fact that someone else got arrested for a crime doesn't mean that you didn't also commit one.
Yeah, but I mean, nah. I mean,
I can't fault the reasoning. Solid, good argument.
very
I guess I'll go.
Yeah, I did, but I also didn't. I mean, I said that to sort of help curb his what's not spontaneous? What's the word?
Spontaneity.
No.
Bloodlust.
Yeah, okay, that will do. And give them something to do while we planned about how we'd go ahead and help. And then I came back and warned everybody because they refused to send them back. And then I helped with everything else. And I feel like I've done a lot of stuff. I'm not even supposed to be here.
So, here's the thing. Normally, if, someone commits crimes on foreign soil, there's this whole sort of political paperwork thing that goes on where, yes, you committed crimes by our laws, but what about by your laws? Do we get you extradited? Do they handle it? Do we handle it? It's all a big mess. So, here was my thinking. Given that I am not any kind of lord or lady, and there isn't one right now, I will write a letter to your homeland, and when I get a word back from them, I'll decide what to do.
Sure.
It's pretty far away, right?
Very far. I don't even know how to get there.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible shame. I'll have to spend a lot of time trying to work that out.
You will. Yeah, it's going to take a long time. Maybe your whole life.
Well, I can hardly
And you're
keep...
like immortal, right? Like,
Not in that way. That'd be nice.
Really?
Yeah, no, not in that way, no.
oh, I thought you were.
No,
Oh.
just... It's a... We're not even...
Oh.
You nearly saw me die from
You're
poison.
just normal.
She walks away.
That hadn't happened yet. The dogs.
What do you mean, what?
He hadn't nearly been poisoned yet.
No, this is after. This is after all that.
I really smooth brain. I was like, why is he writing a letter to... I was like, what? Why did he let him do that? That's so stupid. It's never going to get there.
And he says, well, I'm not immortal. I'm a man. I'm human.
Oh.
Right. They call us immortal because, we're supposed to be unkillable in a fight. It's not true.
Poison got you, but...
It would be very nice were immortals actually immortal. I'd once had some little boy in the desert say, that's not true. No one can kill an immortal. And, this is not a reference to Star Wars.
I got it.
And then jumped into a spaceship.
So we are very much mortal, despite the name.
That's...
But if it's going to take that long for the letter to get there, I can hardly justify keeping you locked up for that long without any kind of charging or anything like that.
I mean, to be fair, I'd just break out as well. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
Of course not.
No.
Besides,
No.
perhaps the noble lady around, I could remand you into Lady Juniper's care.
I think that's probably a really decent idea.
So she does seem to be the authority in this town.
She's very authoritative,
All right.
yes. Yep.
All right.
Good plan.
Then I will do that.
Okay. You should just come with us, though. I mean, really. What have you got here?
Duty. Look, Lady de Costroca is going to have to answer for what has happened here, and there will be a lot of questions, including what happened to the group of you. Someone has to answer those questions. I will likely stay here and continue overseeing construction, and hopefully doing it with cooperation from the Latoiki fame and work out where we can safely log without disrupting them. I am still here to get this place built. and to represent the king, and to do a lot of paperwork about this whole mess. So I cannot run away on a ship with you. I don't know that you're going on a ship. I cannot run away into the sunset with you.
Oh, that sounds so romantic.
That's so disappointing.
Right.
And also disappointing.
Romantic.
Running away into the sunset, for sure.
I suppose so. Anyway,
I mean, I'm not immortal.
You do only live once.
I mean, you said it.
yeah, I didn't. I don't have to have. Don't worry. Responsibility. You know.
Do you know what? Someone great and fantastic once told me something along the lines of, you don't have to be responsible all the time, and live a little.
Who was that?
I think that was Lord Burrow. He told. I can't remember what he told me.
Not that.
Yes, he did. He told me to trust people and to just be myself and live it up. So I'm telling you the same advice he gave me. You know, don't always have to stick to duty. You gotta, let your hair down. Does he have hair?
You see, he kind of goes.
Let your, I don't, yeah.
Well,
I'm inspired.
he sits there for a bit.
You're just lurking in the shadows.
I'm right behind him.
He laughs and goes, "What do you think, Fredson? Shall we let our hair down?" Little tiny baby tortoise turtle. I don't know which one it is. It walks. It's probably a tortoise. But yeah.
That's a tortoise.
It's a tortsel. It does both.
It's your world, it could be.
I'm done with it. It
Tortsels are a
goes,
thing now.
and he goes, "I agree. We have made the decision. We shall let our hair down
Excellent.
today. Come on, let's go do some fun things." And then he's like,
Oh my god.
starts.
Drinking on time.
Yeah. So first thing, he walks over and he's like, You liked the chocolate from before?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get more of that. And what's that drink you do? The chocolate and the liquor? And then, yeah.
Yeah, we have all sorts of terrible fun.
Yeah. And he, for the first half, there's a lot of
Very awkward.
you try to get him to dance or anything like that, and he's like, ballroom style?
What?
What do you? And then sees you, and he's like, okay, and does sort of loosen up a bit. But this is a pretty. It's going to take a bit of loosening to get him out of being uptight. But
Oh, it'll
has fun.
happen. Don't worry. I'll get there.
he has fun, and
Nice.
he does
had fun.
at the after this sort of night of all of this or time of this, he does something. Well, part of me does wish I could ride off into the sunset. So, see you again, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Somewhere.
Because I've got questions for you.
Oh. You can question me now, sir. Maybe
next time.
in the morning. Okay.
For now, let's dance.
Yes.
He does this awful stiff dance.
I should kiss.
Semi-embarrassed to be seen with him.
It's one of those things where it's like he's probably a great ballroom dancer.
Yeah.
But anything else is just like, how do I let loose? How?
How does one socialize?
So with that word, responsibility kind of ringing in your ears, and reading Naturally Super, and it's like, the family business, you got to come back, it's your responsibility, you've got to help me find Dad.
Oh, man. Dare you.
There is that sort of question of, so much of what happened there was about responsibility, making choices that had consequences that then you came back and you tried to solve. And how's Anielloa feeling about all that?
I guess it's completely different, completely new, having to be responsible for actions, because before you could just, you know, it's different where I'm from.
Yeah.
Don't really have to own up to what you do because there are no witnesses.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But now there's so many people.
These new rules.
Yeah, there's rules.
And how close you came to being back in chains is
In what, sorry?
being back in chains.
You're very close.
It's not a backstory.
I thought I got rid of those.
Yeah.
Alright. So, meanwhile, up on the deck.
Avast you, scallywags!
These are like ropes and things like that. It's getting a little bit out of control.
Felix, please, can you tie that one down?
Oh shit, sorry, I'm having a lot of fun.
Let's make a. Do you have proficiency in vehicles,
tying.
ships?
No. Shockingly.
Cool.
Last
you
time I
do.
was on a ship, someone else did it.
So you can help
Okay.
and try to instruct. So I'll let Felix have proficiency in this.
Okay.
Not
Because not advantage, proficiency, and I'm going to call this an intelligence check.
+2.
Do you know how to tie a knot?
19,
Not even a little
29.
bit.
Not you.
With proficiency is still
I do
+2
know.
right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
23.
23. So
You're a good teacher.
Yeah, you're just like yelling these instructions, and Felix is like,
Oh, I get this. Under, loop.
yeah. But it is kind of like you can absolutely see that we're going to need to assign some jobs pretty soon, or we're going to need to pull in and be like, all right, guys, I gotta do this on my own.
Felix is like holding his chest, like, I'm not completely rested yet.
Hang on, let me set up the cruise control. Just tie it.
That's awesome. The
going in a
CIEWS
circle.
control.
I pull off the wheels.
You just stand there.
Oh shit, now we don't have an anchor.
Which is maybe a good thing when you're sailing.
You would know that.
I did it for the lols.
He strapped me to the back of the boat because it was funny.
So,
Just to get you out of the way.
with this, as you two are sort of working on deck, are you actually like cool? So where are you on the deck or in the ship?
The very front, the bow. I don't know what boats are called.
Yeah, up on the forecastle.
I don't know.
Is that what it's actually called? The very point.
The forecastle, shortened to forecastle.
I'm gonna fire you out of the cannon.
There are no cannons.
Definitely a cannon.
No, there is a
Lachie
ballista.
said there's cannons.
Sorry, it's canon now. There's cannons.
There's no gunpowder.
We haven't explored the whole ship.
So you're up at the front, sort of standing there on the forecastle, where you can also see is a ballista mounted. It's the only weapon on this ship, and it is like a ship-to-ship ballista. So this thing would do some pretty serious
harpoon
damage.
gun?
Yeah, big kind of massive bolts get fired out of this, which you can see are in a barrel next to the ballista. There's a dozen or so bolts there. So, you know, that's another thing that like at some point you have to keep an eye on, but you do have a
I always thought
ballista.
it was ballista, but that's
I've always
just me.
said ballista too.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I think it's a
I'm going to say ballista then.
blister.
The other thing is, this ship does not have a figurehead.
It does now.
There is room for one, but
I don't know, boats have that anyway.
no. But yeah, so you sort of stand there looking out over the sea at this endless blue. What's going through your mind?
Just actually seeing how big the world is. 'Cause it's first time they've ever really moved.
Yeah.
So they're just sort of taking it all in. It's been a long time since we've been water level.
I'm going to change something. Give me one moment.
And then I immediately fired a ballista into Jack.
What?
As in Jack.
IRL. Oh shit!
Alright.
Yeah, it's so weird that boats have these massive ballista things, but crossbows are so rare.
It's actually part of why. So the technology for these is still new, and making them is fairly expensive. So crossbows exist, but they're an expensive tool, or they're really inefficient. But because this is one for a ship, you can afford to invest the tons of extra gold that is required to have it.
King's weapon.
But often they would have, so it's a siege weapon, exactly. So it's like they cost a lot more. That thing would have cost a fortune. But you know.
And we got it for free, baby.
Got it on a 5-finger discount.
Yes. So, you creature from another realm, still unnamed, stand there on the bow of the ship, looking outwards. And despite the sound of the waves and the wind, you hear a silence profound in a way you have not before. You feel this loss, and that hole is still there. Can I get you to roll a perception check for me?
No.
I don't want to.
Perception.
Yep.
Natural 20, baby! 24!
He sees everything.
It's so beautiful!
It's beautiful! Hallelujah! If you ever watch this, I'd be very happy. Okay.
Just transcended time.
You hear that profound silence. Your voice, the only one, and possessed, I guess, by a longing to hear that song. You let loose what parts of its refrain that you know. So, Knives and Felix and Juniper and even Anielloa, you hear this mournful song ring out across the waves, across the sea. And you hear a distant answer.
Oh shit!
Fuck, that's...
One voice, two voices, many voices. From out beyond the waves, across the sea.
Can I tell which direction?
It is
Oh, because it's like water, it's like a reverb chamber that is sort of like everywhere.
that, but you did get a natural 20. East is where it is loudest.
Taste.
Yeah, but...
That you do hear it ringing all around, as though from many voices from many directions. And you don't know truly whether or not they heard you and answered, or if you just, in the silence after your own song, heard theirs.
I'm now
But
weighing
the-
up who's more important.
So, is it?
What? What?
Is there anything
No one
There's
knew
a
that.
lot of things that would do. That's fine.
anything you want to do now, or
I would go to Knives, because he's the one steering. I'd point in the direction that is whichever one I can tell is the closest. I'm going to guess whichever one's the loudest is the
I'm
closest.
going east. So
it's
that way.
it's not really because it is. There's no like pinpoint direction. It's just like east was loudest. So you don't know if that's because they were closer, because there was more of them. You don't know why. You just know east had more.
We need to go east. There's more of us.
Seems like you've volunteered to be the navigator then.
That way.
Cool. I mean, interesting. So we'll have, you guys will have to have a talk about directions and all that at some point. But for now, make a survival check for me. Or, survival or intelligence with proficiency.
Can I help because I'm directing them which way we
No,
could go?
this is a different thing.
Why are you so mean?
They're both the same. 12.
12? You don't know exactly where this is leading. You don't have all of the best navigational charts. You're looking at unfamiliar waters and all of this. You're like, okay, I know this area very well. You spent a lot of time in the Circassian Gulf patrolling it. You spent a lot of time in the areas just beyond, which I do have written down somewhere, which are you spent a bit of time out in the Sighing Sea as well. So you've got some experience out there, but you're getting out into unknown waters with, beyond the Sighing Sea, the Swallowing Sea and further. It could be anywhere from Marvid to Var. That is that direction from you. It could even be some of the smaller islands that are within the Bight. East is not enough of a direction. I'm sure you knew that, but... So, your new friend comes up and points.
Directly ahead.
Yeah.
Is it pretty much directly ahead?
No.
Okay.
No. What do you do or say?
You throw me for a loop.
We could navigate from the bow.
I'm just looking at the map.
I don't know what it's called. The front of the boat.
Is the
On the
sound
map.
continuing? Or no?
It was just that, like,
Only I could hear, I'm guessing.
yeah, only
Yeah.
Devin heard
Yeah.
the returning song.
Well, we are heading in that direction anyway.
Cool.
We probably need to make a stop at some point to get some sea charts of the area. So, know this Gulf quite well, but anything beyond, haven't really ventured out too much.
And I don't know that you guys have actually decided on a destination.
I was about to yell at you. Do you know this area? This is probably the first time you're also seeing that they're very, erratic.
I know where I assumed we were heading. I thought we were headed to...
What's that way?
Yes, wasn't there a discussion about heading to the Sentinel Isles?
Yeah,
Juniper, you're coming up on deck at this
we're
point too.
kind of headed into Marvid at the moment.
Is that way?
Marvid is east.
We were heading there because the owner of the mill...
Well, we need to decide on this. The owner of the mill had a whole bunch of ties to Var, which is it's east as well, isn't it? But
Yeah.
it's just far east.
Yeah, so Var is furthest east
far away.
and direct east.
Yeah.
Did you just say Var away?
Yes, I did.
I did too, but that's fine.
No, you didn't. I could have done the audio.
Screw you, I have camera audio.
There's just this wide
I
bit of,
get there first.
Star Wars.
yeah, so Var is far east and direct east. Marvid is sort of southeast and is closer. Sangaro is to the south, and rest of Eteria is sort of north and west.
In regards to waters, are we crossing Sangaravan borders, or is it just Eteria, Marvid?
That is up to how you guys choose to navigate it. If you...
Because the bite points towards Sangaro, doesn't it? Yeah. So then we're not probably going through there because it's big land, so we go above it. So would we be avoiding Sangaro altogether, or...?
The Sentinel Isles you don't get to via open sea. So you're not going to come into them from above. You would need to land somewhere else. You generally take a ship from Reloi to get
We're on
there.
a ship.
So if we're going to stop for supply,
Yeah, but it's like so because the Sentinel Isles are going out into open sea, the back of each of the islands is basically impossible to land on. So you're coming down under and then landing in on the Marvidish side. But
See-
like you're mostly staying in Marvidish waters, but you could go down. Like if you were to go all the way down.
We
the
actually
coast.
need to stop to get stuff before we can get to the Sentinel Isles. Does that mean we're essentially stopping in Sangaro?
It's up to you. There's multiple places you could.
And I guess it's a question how soon
Whichever
stop.
is the closest east we go.
We're not going to make it very far east if we don't stop somewhere first.
Look, the first things first, we need to find someone who can forge some paperwork for the ship. We need to change the name because this is a known piracy or smuggling ship. And we also stole it.
I mean, that could maybe... Hey?
I'm really good at forging stuff.
We don't know that.
I think I've said
Did you
it
hear
before.
something?
Have we?
I have said it
We
before.
feel like Annie is good at.
Annie has done Fortress stuff before.
Hey, ask the lovely Satyr woman to do it.
Yes.
One thing, this is just to make this part easier, because there's 3 people here who would probably know this. You can't just forge something without having a copy. Like,
Yeah.
you need to know what the document looks like. There is no way that Anielloa does.
Yeah, I was going to assume we could...
I'm assuming the pink slips are in the dashboard of this boat.
in the captain's quarter.
Obviously.
Could be. Yeah, there's probably some kind of... There's
I know
probably
exactly
paperwork.
where they would be kept because...
Is it a
Oh, look here, I found the pink slips.
specific looking form? Like,
Fuck you.
you know,
We have all the
having
things.
worked in sort of government, would she be like aware of that?
So the parts that I identify a ship are the name, which is obviously going to be like painted on it. The what's it called? The ensign, that's a sort of a flag, one of the small flags that you put up. That generally is to indicate like nationality and role. And then you would have documentation that the captain would keep, typically.
Can you roll this?
This is everything I just told you.
This is the
mass
research that we
stuff,
did
isn't it, as
before we
What's
played.
that?
How many mast poles they've got as well?
Yeah. So
counts.
that's like the silhouette. That's so that they can, when they're looking out at the water, they can go, okay, that's we're looking for 3 masts or whatever. Yeah. So you'd have like description of the ship and all that. You would have official documentation that would be dependent upon the country that you're from. So if you're coming into Sangaro in an Eterian vessel and you guys don't know where this ship was from, then you might have to, talk to someone different because it's like coming in on a plane. You're going to have to go through customs or whatever.
So presumably though... Oh wait, I'm not there.
What's Singaro's relationship with Marvid?
Good.
Maybe we don't come in as an Eterian vessel.
Glad we waited.
Maybe we don't register ourselves as an Eterian vessel.
Aye,
That's my recommendation.
it sounds like a smart plan.
If we stop in either Sangaro or Marvid, which is really our only 2 options that I can think of, I can probably get whoever we need to help us with this if we can't achieve it ourselves.
We'd need to do it sooner. If anyone stops us along the way in the waters,
Yes.
it needs to be the first thing we do.
Well, I'm not that proficient in the seas, in port towns.
This area is very highly patrolled by the Arterian Navy.
It would be nice to avoid that. Right. Well, we haven't gone far, have we?
No. So
No, Var's that way.
I really wish I'd printed them out. That was something I've had on my to-do list for so long, and I just forgot to do it.
I'm on roll 20 right
Yeah. So if everyone who's
I
sort of
remember it.
thinking about this does want to grab up the map, it's probably a good idea.
I don't remember the place names.
Yeah. So the Costroca, where you currently are, is the northern spit of a peninsula that then comes out into the Sighing Sea,
that, yeah.
or like to the east is the Sighing Sea, to the west is Circassian Gulf. The Circassian Gulf is extremely tightly controlled by Eteria. The Sighing Sea gets a little bit more contested. So if you basically head away from Argenset and out to the east, you still have a bit of time where like you're in heavily patrolled waters, but then you get out a bit beyond that and you're kind of a little more home free. You could, if you head down the coast you're staying within Eterian waters, but that's the most direct path to Sangaro, which, you know, is not Eteria. So if this is an Eterian ship, which you don't know, then, you know, there's that.
What does the flag say it is?
It isn't flying one, it was a smuggling ship at this point.
Yeah, it would fly.
What's in the
But wouldn't they?
captain's
They were
quarters?
being legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
So wouldn't they be
I want
legitimate?
to raise the dashboard.
They would have. You want to raise the dashboard.
So you're heading into the captain's cabin, which is under the quarterdeck. That's the name. I definitely don't have a picture of a ship with all them.
I'm opening the glove box.
Okay, just make an investigation check for me.
There'll be a desk in there, surely.
Yeah, it's a full appointed captain's cabin. Like there's a double bed.
There'll be files.
There's cabinets. Think Pirates of the Caribbean, that room that they sat in, where, you know,
And she ate the food.
she had dinner.
Yeah. She ate the food.
I was like, I can't remember anything else about this scene.
She ate an apple or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was it? Investigation?
Yeah.
12, I think, once this loads.
12.
Pretty sure it's
I'm
just
aware of this. What can I say?
11.
Don't worry. I think the answer is yes.
Okay. Cool.
It's 11.
11. Okay.
In
So
the dashboard.
you look through. I'm just going to bring up details of this ship.
Maybe it's in that weird pocket behind the driver's seat.
Maybe it's under the dress.
It's in the glove compartment. No, that is the.
Yeah.
It's in the center console.
It's in the console. So that's it. It's in the console.
Oh, it's underneath the radio, of course.
Okay. So you sort of search around looking for things, and you open up some drawers, and you pull up the documentation of ownership, of registry. It is registered to Isolde Barker. She is a merchant who operates a small fleet of ships. And as far as you can see, the paper looks legitimate. You could do more investigating into it. This is just at a cursory glance for finding it. And it is Sangaran registered.
Good. We don't have to change anything about the appearance of the ship. Only the name.
It is an Eterian design. So it appears that you would sort of guess that Isolde Barker has bought this ship off the Eterians. So this is you know a bit about Eterian ship designs. This is not a absolute state of the art, but this is a very fast ship. So a cutter is a small ship designed for speed. Think like a pirate sloop, basically. Yep. So it makes but has decent storage space. So it makes for a very, very good smuggling ship. Also could be used for legitimate merchant stuff, but realistically, you'd probably buy or hire or whatever a full, size merchant sailing ship. I can't remember the names of them, but this is a small, fast ship. But yeah, so Eterian Design is owned by Isolde Barker, who it is registered. It is Sangaran Registry. She is from...
I can't remember the
oh no, it doesn't say... Oh wait, yes it does. She is from Manifold.
There's literally no land between us and the Sentinel Isles. We'd have to go just straight south.
Yeah, so this is one of the things, like realistically cutting across open waters without supplies is pretty dangerous. So you're probably looking at going down the coast.
Everything...
Or trying to go straight there.
Everything interior is awful. Like, we could stop at Fort Howell. So I feel like Sangaro is our best bet.
Now, keep in mind, I have only marked major things on the map of that scale. So there are smaller towns as well. Right. It's just pulling into any smaller town with a ship this size, there's also the danger they just don't have any supplies for you.
Maybe we could sell it and buy a smaller ship.
You go cynical. You go straight to cynical.
It's not double it.
Before we left, like in the day that we were downtiming, can I have found Mort?
Yeah. So while these guys are sort of planning routes and everything, you down in the cabin below, What do you want to do with Mort?
Whoa, I don't know what to do with Mort. Mort. My best friend from the guards.
Should we speak like this?
Yeah, it was.
I think
it was a
yes,
himbo.
I think it is.
What are you gonna do now?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't really thought that far ahead.
You could run the place.
Who said that?
Get out of my head.
It's your conscience.
His head goes insane.
I mean, I think I'm kind of out of a job, ain't I? Maybe I'll take up a position on a ship and sail.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that's convenient.
Well, I was gonna say that, but I was also gonna say, maybe you could go down and see Burrow in Tentries. Thinking that he might know that he's already gone.
Why would I want to see Lord Burrow?
Well, if you wanted to keep being a guard, he needs guards. Big, strong, manly men like you.
I think Duke Suitland will probably be looking for people in his regiment.
Do you know what? You should just come with us.
Come where?
Wherever we go. Do you want to just come on an adventure? Do something different with your life? Have fun!
Roll a persuasion check. Bringing NPCs and making Lachie do that voice that I ever thought would.
I don't want him.
I want to Josh, but you put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, well, he can't.
We could always get Josh on.
That'd also be giving you a very fucking powerful NPC.
I want Josh on too, but I don't know where he
I like
is.
that you're like, all the NPCs that I set up and wrote, and then you're like, Mort and Josh on, the two we made up.
19.
19.
We've got more.
I'm excited for Lachie to do this voice forever.
Yes,
I mean, what's the pay like?
It's almost like you played a campaign like this.
you'd be paid in friendship and fun and adventure, and I'm not being paid, but I'm having a great
You're not
time.
getting paid?
No,
You should really renegotiate the contract.
I don't have a contract.
You don't getting paid?
Okay.
We're just living life. Don't you want to live life and see things, see the world?
I mean, yeah, but you've got to remember about finances and.
We've definitely got finances. You should go with me. Please, you're my friend.
Yeah, alright, fuck it, why not?
Yes!
Oh no. First mates.
Get on the sail!
Yeah, you need more ship hands.
He's the guy that we just bully the whole time.
Yeah, that's
Just never picks up the slack.
Yeah.
Get on the sail, you bitch!
It's gonna be fun. We knew.
I like to think you're just screaming at him the whole trip. It's gonna be so much fun. What the fuck are you doing? Raise sail!
So,
Hey, I'm derailing this campaign as well. I mean, my character.
So, as we cut back to you steering the ship and having these conversations,
He just puffs it.
you see, climbing up from below decks, back down from the rigging, he's like, all right, Captain, what do you need from me now?
What are your skill sets, Mort?
I'm good at eating things.
Are you good at cooking things?
No. That is a natural one.
Oh god.
Sorry. Yep.
Poisonous for sure.
Insight?
Yeah, sure.
That's a 16 plus things.
That's another natural one. He thinks he is. You see a lot of unearned confidence there.
You could be the one repairing the ship.
I got taught cooking down in by my old mam. She was a big fan of, you put out the big pot and it's perpetual stew. You just put things in.
We have been alive for 2 minutes and this guy makes me want to jump overboard.
You can be heavy, right? I can just tie myself to you.
It's good. What are you talking about?
Felix in the background is tying himself to each other to jump
Had a
over.
point. Are you knocking me, man?
Please fight each other.
Do you really want to fight with a crystal guy?
You made glass.
Yeah, you know, wrong words. I wanted to throw in. All right, whatever. You're not worth it. Cap, what do you want me to do?
To me, you.
I know.
No. I'm not looking up positions.
D2.
Oh, yeah, it's really
Bosun's going to be an obvious one. Someone needs to repair the ship, but that does require.
Do you know the
skill
mending
and
cantrip? Do you know the mending cantrip?
Cantrip.
What's a cantrip?
Well, there you go. He has no magic.
Do you know what the phrase dead
Can you just give me a list of
numbers.
what
One
we
I
need
kill
to
him, or is
fill out?
We can work out who's doing what later.
I want to do it now. I just need a list of what we need to fill out.
Put him on a trial period.
Okay.
You're on probation for 3 months.
Yeah. Like
There are 6 sort of named roles, and then everyone else is deckhand. The named roles are captain or master,
Got that.
first mate,
Got that.
bosun, quartermaster,
What does the quartermaster do?
stocks, and sometimes navigator. So it's like they're in charge of stocking the ship, making sure everyone's got what they need.
So it's like buy Tesla stock.
But they also typically handle navigation
Bit cool.
because that's more of an onshore job. Surgeon,
Surgeon.
Medical officer. Okay. Yep.
cook, because you do need to eat, and
medicine.
deckhands.
Can Felix cook?
The other one would be like
I can cook.
Ballister, but that's obviously only a role.
Felix is a
some of the time.
cultured man.
We could be. We won't understand
How
medicine.
combat
Yeah,
trained are
you
you?
buy food.
But
Like-
yeah, that's
I've
Yeah, you go to
served
restaurants.
yeah. He would
as a personal guard
He's not a
to
peasant.
Yeah.
Lady de Costroca for how long was it? I don't know. I think I'm coming up on 4 years with her. Before that, I did a stint with the Crown. So, border disputes. I've had training. I'm Andy with a cestus.
Andy with a cestus. That's what I heard.
I don't know what a cestus is.
No, I don't.
Asbestos.
Oh,
asbestos, of course, yes.
Cestus, they're gauntlets.
Fisticuffs.
Oh, he literally is the Hulk.
He's got whole gloves.
I mean, I guess in a way, the whole gloves are cestus.
That's what, like those kid gloves that you put on the Hulk,
that is a
and you go,
cestus.
ooh,
Like pretty much.
yeah.
Think like gladiator spikes.
They're weighted boxing gloves,
Yeah.
basically, so they make you hit way harder.
I am not regretting this decision.
Cestus is pretty cool. I made a character. This whole thing was about having 2 really heavy cestus.
Why don't I give them to Dom?
Is that?
Why don't I give them to Dom?
No, they
Why didn't you? It would have been great.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten the list.
Captain, first mate, bosun, quartermaster, surgeon, cook, and possibly navigator.
We're good at medicine.
How do you know if you're
He sounds
good
like
at
a deckhand to
cooking?
me.
He sounds like a guy that repairs.
He's quite happy to be a deckhand.
Yeah. He sounds like
Yeah, sounds
hey,
like
we
a
need
deckhand.
something done, do it.
Just a general worker.
He's just a
All right.
general labourer.
I'll get on it. You do. So you typically would sail, like minimum crew for a cutter is typically about 12.
Yeah, we're severely undercrewed.
You can sail it with like 4, but it means, as I said, it basically would mean that you're all constantly working. So
some higher
you'd have to be like stopping for the night to sleep. You'd have to anchor.
We need to
the
make a list of everyone we've met so far and try and get them on the ship.
In the day that we had,
So,
if they were in Costroca,
I want Emmett.
get
Don't add the A.
We've heard of
It's close enough.
birds in this other waterside town.
all right. Who can we get?
Water shallow.
Vihanta, and they're 3.
Yeah, we could
There
have.
you go. There's 3 of them.
They're not going to leave the.
The hunter could.
We're just deciding for Lachie
Would they
these
then?
people would join
They
us.
wouldn't.
No, I don't.
You're
think
welcome to
Maybe
try who you
surf
want. I was.
Surf a group.
This is one of the scenes I was expecting. How do we
Yeah,
get a
it's
crew
gonna be
together?
pretty cool. She was
seem to
kind
have-
of bored.
You seem to have quite a rapport with the hunter. Do you reckon?
Yeah, Hunter, come with us.
So we're cutting
Go
back
and,
to that.
Go and have a conversation with the
God,
hunter.
I guess.
So,
Yeah. I guess after the realization, it's like, oh, we don't have enough people to sail this thing. The Hunter, you've always wanted to see the world.
Actually, Ten Trees was close to the water. We could probably
Get
stop
sand.
there for a little bit. Sand.
I feel like Sam is pretty committed on being a successful actor and
Well,
he's definitely going
you
to.
know-
Also,
Needs to travel.
it's
Yeah,
probably
there's-
not a good idea.
I
Go back
do
to
love that
10
you guys
trees
just grabbing
because-
all of my random NPCs. Sand was written, but still, it's like
Dominic.
My favorite thing is you're going to have to voice like 100 different voices.
Lane is the search.
We could get
Okay.
what's his name? Oh
Lane.
shit, what's his name?
I reckon
Yeah,
Lane would be good
Lane.
at cooking.
Yeah.
Let's try and get Lane to cook.
Yep.
What episode
Hey,
is
we
it?
saved him.
It's 12.5.
Yeah.
I can't wait for episode 13 where Lachie plays 18 different NPCs. I'm rolling persuasion checks against himself.
Yes. He actually. Can we
actually-
cycle back because I stole
You
a
would know all about
bag of
smuggling ships.
jangly stuff from him. You never told me what it was.
It was just jewelry and stuff.
He could
Yeah.
be in charge of all the stock.
What about Salem?
It was just like,
Are we starting a
Costume
merchant
jewelry.
business?
no, like
like it.
jewelry, like worth stuff.
Not you.
But
Thank you.
Salem was the guy that we sent back to the Ford.
He's got a
to
son.
the-
He has a child.
He's got a child. He's out. No, Salem's out.
Bring the child.
Sailing is not
Kids.
coming sailing.
No.
We must rescue
Bring
the
the
child.
son.
do you want to have like, I don't know, roll something to see who you might know who might be able to fill some of these roles?
Oh, I know.
Or do you want to just try to work it out?
I think the Hunter, Lane, and the other
Cool,
one,
alright.
whichever the other one was.
We have
I'll
an
ask the
idea.
hunter, I guess.
Yes. You, the crystal man.
He was super useful, so
If we go east, there's probably a lot more of us. They could help.
we've got to get there first.
The problem
East is far.
We can't.
Alright.
Yeah.
As
Good
we go
input, thank
to
you.
enter, we will back to Felix.
Throw the anchor over. We don't have enough.
Just jump in the water.
It'd be probably a more.
Yeah, so she,
I see.
last we saw, she sort of winked at you as you were about to sail away, and we can have a conversation before that or after that. You tell me when it's happening. Like-
Maybe it is a thing, or we just realized very quickly. Oh, we're really like understaffed.
Can we like bring some of the smugglers with us?
People are like,
kidding.
You, get on the ship. No.
I don't know. It happened at some point.
Do it before,
Yeah,
so
I
we're
guess.
not like
we can
having to go
retcon. It's
back.
fine. Who cares?
It won't be a recon. I'll make it work.
She waved goodbye.
Maybe she'll swim into the ship afterwards. You don't know.
Oh yeah. You know,
Hey, what's there?
we have nowhere near enough people to sail this vessel. And you were saying that, you've only really known your people's way of life. There's a lot of fun out there. You can get into a lot more trouble than just here.
A lot more trouble. A long time alone. Or in close quarters together.
Well, I didn't say that.
I'm gonna get you to make a persuasion check for me.
But she has to
With
bring
advantage, you boned
Lane.
her.
And the other one, whoever the other one was.
Just add it. It's just a bonus.
A bonus.
A bonus.
Is that a 16 or
Thanks,
16?
Lachie.
It'll be a bone
16.
hurt.
What is it? A
You
persuasion
already
check.
did.
Ooh.
You already did.
Plus 3 and expertise. So plus 7, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, 25.
Or you could like, I don't know, check
No, I didn't have,
his
I
character
didn't have
sheet.
expertise at the time. Anyway.
Were you acting?
I would have been level 3 back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
Edit that out, bitch.
4, 5.
Plus, so if your
2
modifier is 3,
plus 5. I'm still.
Is,
So it's 21
Tara
total.
the other one?
Tara, that's it, but she was
Tara-
locked away. Maybe not her.
We never checked on Tara.
no, I know.
Therapy.
We can do all this.
We'll fix it up.
There's a whole heap of scenes we need to run. and
How's
we've-
Tara? Yeah.
So she. How do I think about this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The hunter looks at you, and there's kind of like a pause for a moment. What would we be doing? What are you all setting out to do, really?
To fix whatever the fuck is going on. You'd be serving a pretty noble cause. I know you're fighting for your people, but I think you'd want to keep people to fight for. And this isn't going to go away on its own.
Oh, no, you're quite right. I think it would be... She's so strong. I'm so reluctant to give her.
Buff NPC.
It's also,
I don't reckon she would
skill.
come.
yeah.
I don't think she would either.
she-
She nearly went to war yesterday.
Yeah.
She,
Like, she's very impassioned about her
so she
at the moment.
thinks for a bit and goes, Felix, I appreciate it. Another time, I kind of want to say yes now. She puts a hand on either side of your face and she goes, I think maybe work out who you are first.
Twist of that.
You cut me deep, Shrek.
Come here, deep just now.
I'm sure you will. But I have to look after my people.
I don't suppose there are any adventurous, strong furbolg that would be willing to go on
Lane.
an adventure.
Lane.
For sure, Lane.
Lane.
Literally surfing from behind.
I think perhaps.
Come on.
Fuck's sake.
Come on.
He would totally want to
Weaker
go.
NPC.
Yeah.
Of course he would.
Yeah. He loves the ocean.
I mean, he's a serpent, bro.
He can surf off the back. We'll set up a string and a board.
She says, I don't speak for them. You're welcome to ask.
I'm going to ask furbolg. Fine, I'll do it the hard way.
Just asking for general furbolg, like if anyone comes out with you.
Friend furbolg,
Oh, yeah, we could.
we are going on a long journey, and we require deckhands. People who want to see the sea and see the world in a great and noble cause to save whatever the fuck is going on.
We need
Nah,
a
it's just
chef.
gonna be really fun.
We need someone who can make a damn good meal,
Yeah.
or just knows how to work a boat.
And there'll be lots of surfing. I'm sure.
I mean, it's an option.
Lame.
Everyone else is just staring at him.
Give me a
like,
persuasion check.
And edibles.
Not him. Do I get advantage because that?
Can I do one? No.
No. This is just. We're
Oh,
just
I
doing.
I don't actually think you're there.
I totally. Oh. I thought we went to the. I thought we
and
would
it could
journey
be,
to
yeah,
the.
Yeah, recruiter.
Well, you are first mate.
Yeah, well, yeah. Plus 5, 18, 23.
For fuck's sake,
Yeah.
stop rolling so hard.
need
You made me a bard! It's right there!
Rolled at 18.
It's there! I didn't do it.
That would have been.
From your perspective, it's an 81.
It's on
I
the
can't
list.
read it anyway.
These dice suck.
All right. I'll tell you what.
It's just all reflected.
Yeah.
I like
Terra is still recovering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vihanta sort of does choose to stay,
Yeah.
but as we cut back to that scene where Vihanta waves farewell, see as the ship's setting off, Lane just goes, looks at her, grabs a surfboard from fucking nowhere, runs in the water, and throws it out in front of him. And
I don't want it here, but I'm so happy anyway!
and I'll say you can sort of, depending who you end up with, you can pad out with
Alright, Lane's the chef.
currently unnamed.
I did it! I got one.
Caught one.
So he gets up, pulls up on deck, and long blonde hair, which is like sort of strawberry blonde.
Oh my god.
That's my thing.
No. Wait.
We can both have the thing, dude.
Can you please roleplay Mort saying that? Yeah.
So Lane, Mort's like, I'm gonna. He just starts like pulling this like knives. You're just watching him just pulling on some rigging to try to like pull up a sail, and you're like, no, that's
No, not that one, not that one. Boss, no.
This is literally the scene in any like heist or Fast and Furious movie where we're gonna need a team.
I don't know. No, this is just not the team I thought it would be. It's just all your funny fucking NPCs I hate you all so
To be
much.
fair, who did you think?
I have a list. You have not picked any.
Twice, and he saw who was naughty and who was not.
Fuck you.
I don't know who we know.
And he said,
And Lane's like,
grab the surfboard.
and I did. Is it cooking?
Sorry?
You want me to cook?
Yes.
If you can cook, I mean,
Aye.
I don't want to generalize, but there was some damn fine meals in that cap. If you can all cook that well, then
Well,
I'd be happy to have you.
little dude, good luck it. And he
Falls down the stairs.
he sort of waves at you all and goes, "Oh, good to be out in the open water," and immediately takes his shirt off.
Perfect.
Oh my god, he's jacked.
He is huge.
Felix is
Has he even got those little things?
He's also definitely the kind of guy who has absolutely no idea that, like, none of this is showing off. He's just like, yeah, dude, get the sun on your skin, man. You know, that kind of thing, where he's just like so natural about it all.
I'd like to go back to
Well, our first stop of call is back to 10 trees.
I really,
We're going
really
back to
think that's
You
a
know
bad
that
idea.
people were hunting us there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but they were then back on their way to the
Decent
place.
risk. Who are we going to 10 trees for?
Emmett.
Emmett sucks.
God damn it.
Shit character.
And Josh.
Oh yeah, Josh Hahn. We go back to Josh Hahn.
Oh, Josh,
Sean will never leave.
What job do you think you would be good at?
all of them.
He's got good eyes.
I'm not going to be a deckhand, but I
Surgeon?
I can certainly be the medical officer.
You're pretty good at making people less dead.
Okay, well,
I'd be happy
She's
to
got,
do
like,
that.
healing light and stuff.
So do I.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
She has a.
I kind of already said that
she can use
you
as well
could
as
be the
spells.
navigator.
Ah.
I do have echolocation. That way.
No.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
thing. He said it.
Yeah, the
thing.
dolphins will tell us what.
I could turn into a dance flubble on
Anielloa, what about you?
Are you coming down to see me?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, so Knives, you climb down the ladder and on the door.
Yeah.
Anielloa, are you okay?
Nope.
Are you okay?
No.
Are you okay, Annie?
And it's not okay.
Sorry, it's not my foot.
No. Knives, actually, no, not okay. I am in water. I'm very afraid of water, actually.
That could be an issue. Why? What terrifies you about water?
Well, it's a different backstory. It's mine.
Fragrance.
Well, see, when I was maybe like 12 or 14 or something like that, I was going for a swim in the lake, and there was this like creature in there, and I went to say hi because I'm really friendly and stuff, and then next minute I was there was a bag over my head, and I was all wrapped up in chains, and then I was taken away really far, and I've never seen my home or my parents again, and then they made me do a whole bunch of stuff, and I've killed a lot of people. So yeah, I don't like the water because that's what sort of started this whole journey of like where I am, and I don't want to be
Would
there.
that not be the creature's fault, not the water's fault?
Yeah, but it was in the water, and I was in the water, and then I was like, I don't know, I was 12, man.
What did the creature look like?
Oh, I didn't know you were here. Shit.
I just follow everyone silently around.
Just always.
Yeah, it's a
It was a water horse, right?
horse, yeah.
Yeah. It was a water horse.
It was Nessie.
It was Nessie. It's literally water horse. It is like covered in seaweed and just growing. He was perpetually dripping.
That does sound terrifying.
Can I roll? I no.
He wanted me to come in the water, and then I got stolen by, bad people.
We don't have those here, though, do we?
Can I roll to see if I know?
In my
You can, yeah, anyone can make an Arcana check.
20 years of sailing, I've never heard of a creature such as that.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's
I
good.
don't think they exist in this realm.
That's really good. But still, water. There's stuff lurks in the water.
16.
16? No.
Cool.
Yes, but as long as you're on the boat, you should be fine.
Okay.
You've
I'm staying on the boat.
I was going to say, is it one of those things that I know about?
That's generally the
Cool.
idea.
That's more was the
Stay on
plan.
the boat.
Cool.
I don't want to fall in.
Alright, well we won't
Okay.
get you. We won't get you up on the rigging then.
Can I do stuff down here? I can do stuff down here. I can tidy stuff. I can go through everything. I can
Yes,
forage.
that
I can
could- that could be a
I'll just
start.
look
You
at
could-
everything. Okay, cool. I can do that.
Write a list of inventory of what we have.
I can write. I can do anything. I can yeah, I can do that. Sure.
What else did we need again?
So, from the sounds of it, you have Knives as captain.
Yes.
Felix, desperate
mate.
to be first mate.
Yes. Lane is the chef.
I don't even know if he's
Lane is the chef.
Juniper's the surgeon. Devin is the navigator. He's inserted himself into the game.
Yep.
Maud is a deckhand.
Yep.
What does that leave?
So, quartermaster, which is provisions.
Hello, that's me.
Quartermaster. There you go.
Yep.
Quartermaster.
Well, we do
And
need
then-
a quartermaster.
And then the last one is bosun, which is one of the most
Bosun.
important. Because literally, I will tell you this mechanically, because
How do
I
you
am
spell that?
currently working on ship rules, because the ones that are in, sorry, Wizards of the Coast, your ship rules are bad. I'm writing my own.
Cool. They're going to shut down our stream now.
And bosun is how you heal. So, like, if your ship takes damage, the bosun is the one who repairs
Should
it.
we appoint?
So you need someone. It requires proficiency in carpenter's tools.
Fucking hell. We need Emmett.
Oh God.
God damn it.
We kind of do.
Yeah,
Yes.
Emmett. Yeah, he does. He
does?
Because
There
he's a douchebag.
Okay.
There are 3 characters that you have met who could potentially fill that role.
Yeah. It's all out of love.
There are 3 characters you've met who could potentially fill that role.
There are?
Is it like
Do we know them?
Bilford?
Would we know that?
Bilfred and Fenelon would also be able to do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bilfred's
yeah.
got
Both.
one leg. He
Bilfred
can't
is obvious.
balance.
Bilfred is
on
That means he's
obviously.
a pirate.
I did think them, but he probably is not in a condition.
No, he
to
runs a
do this.
business too. He's just gonna
And
stay
then
there.
she wouldn't come because she would look after him.
That's my only thinking is that Emmett wouldn't because he'd want to be with them too.
Yeah, and he's man.
Oh, we can
Yeah,
bring
he's
him
mad.
all.
But he could be with his dad. If we brought him.
I was going to say, I was just staring at me again.
Yeah, we'll think you're his dad.
Mate, I have theories. I discussed them with the person
It would be
too.
really gross if I was his dad.
Right?
Would it? Why?
Because his mum's really young. And I'm not that
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Yeah.
Right. How
Emmett's 18.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, I was about to say, you say his mum's really young, but in this situation, you're not the creepy one.
You would know.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Sorry.
That part had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
I meant to say, I'm 27, he's 18.
Yeah.
We don't want to know the circumstances.
Yeah. As I said,
Sorry, I won't interrupt your head.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Time travel.
No,
Cast wish.
But yeah,
it's all good.
So,
It'll come out later.
How do you spell bosun?
you'll never believe this.
BOWSON.
BOATSWAIN.
Boat sign.
Boatswain. It's so much like Forecastle became Forecastle. It can also be written BOSUN.
Yep.
But it is boatswain. It is the person who is. It's like a Wainwright who makes.
I always
wagons.
said boatswain.
All right,
No,
so
it's bosun.
that's all we have to fill is bosun.
Bosun. I think boatswain's also correct. It's just bosun's what it became.
We all get stuff wrong.
No, we don't. We know everything. What are you talking about?
We do know everything. So,
I'm a boat.
as you're sort of assembling your crew, well, we can run some scenes as you go and meet these people and potentially get them on the boat or however. But there are other things too.
Yes.
No?
Maybe, yes. Okay. If it's important. Well, if it benefits us.
Knives.
Yeah.
I just.
Anielloa isn't the only one who technically committed crimes. There is still the issue of your desertion. You don't get approached by Jost or anything like that. The people who would bring you to task by that seem to have kind of let it slide. And you find it sort of disappearing. A bunch of like soldiers and things like that, if you go to a tavern or anything like that, people are seeming to just treat you like your actions have kind of, particularly, you talking during the conflict with Lady de Costroca, you were invoking the king's name and Commodore now apparently Admiral Nor's name, and all of this. So you sounded very official. You didn't sound like a deserter, so that is sort of disappearing. But how's Knives feeling about it all? As, you know, you've kind of left and kind of haven't. What does Knives do back in Costroca in his time off?
Does Jost outweigh or outrank Bishop?
No. Jost is actually only barely more like higher rank than you. It's just that Jost is from the most prestigious unit. So like in terms of actual rank, Jost is a captain. So
Who potentially could outrank Bishop?
Burrow. Lady de Costroca. Quite a number of nobles around. So Lady Omelon's probably she would technically outrank him, but his position in the financial guild and as this like overseer for the king probably gives him a lot of power. Honestly, not many people here.
Yep.
In a different city, Juniper would outrank him. But in Tentries, not so much. Too small a town.
So Burrow would. I think we need to go back to Tentries. As I sort of left with no official business, it's been weighing on me quite heavily. You don't just leave. No one leaves. It's the military, the navy, the forces of Arteria is quite heavily revolved around honor, duty. The only way that I could potentially leave with all of that intact is if I got told by someone high up that I had to go and deal with this. If we could go back to Tentries and get Burrow to tell me or have it in writing. He did say it, but not in writing. We need proof.
The biggest barrier to that as well was the fact that Duke de Soutelan coming was that thing of like, not saying that's why you can't go back, saying the issue was Burrow could give you that order, Duke de Soutelan outranks Burrow. So he could very easily just be like, you're off duty.
Yeah, but if we never catch up to him, then...
Yes. But that was the fear. That was why Burrow was like, get out of here.
But could we not then damage Burrow for doing the same thing? If he knew you were wanted.
We also don't know what's waiting for us in Tentries.
I think it's a terrible idea. I don't want to go back to that place. I mean...
Very risky.
We left there because they were on their way to get us. We don't know how far away from there they were. We could arrive at the same time they are.
Didn't we also hear that they were on their way to Costroca?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know they've left Tentries.
So if they had left Tentries, they would be there. Costroca's only like a day's travel away.
Yeah.
So you would guess that, I mean, the Fort Howell is like a day and a half. It's not that far from Tentries. So Duke de Soutelan is there. In Tentries. You'd assume. Like, you don't know 100%, but it's like he's had time to get there. People are talking about him. Well, he's probably there.
What we could do is, with this day off that we're having right now, send a letter, someone with a letter to Duke de Soutelan, telling him of the situation here in Costroca with Lady de Costroca, getting him to come to arrest her for her crimes against the king. Then we use that to travel around the peninsula to Tentries.
My concern is that I think news would spread that the rest of us were involved and he's actively after us. I don't think that's going to do
Which would give him more of a reason to come here. We can skirt around and miss them.
I'm weirdly worried about how this is going to affect the other people that we're leaving behind, which is odd for my thinking. But I mean, Burrow helped us get away from this guy. Joster's covering basically for all the things that we did, and he's been left behind to face this guy. You know, what's to say that I'm worried about other people. I need to sit down.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
I understand your point and I understand your concerns, but just in my experience, I find we're better off making as much time as we can and getting the fuck out of the Tyrian borders before it can cause any problems. Because at the end of the day, if we can get out of here, none of this is following you. It might be waiting for us when we get back, but I think we're kind of fucked either way.
No, there is probably someone else who you could ask. It would mean getting a letter to them.
Yeah, nice.
Admiral Nor. Admiral of the Tyrian Navy outranks all of the people that we've talked so far. If he's truly an admiral, if he really got that promotion, he absolutely can. He's 10th in line to the throne.
Woof.
Never getting there.
Pirate King.
Yes, but I have no idea how to get a letter to him.
Hey, I've just
And
looked
even if
in
he
the...
would respond to that letter.
We've got some pigeons down in the in the ship. I don't know what they're for.
You know what? Make an investigation check.
There might be messenger pigeons.
Alternatively, I also know how to get letters sent around.
They absolutely
It's so
would
weird. This
be.
one's labelled Admiral Nor.
Oh my god.
There's
Oh my
fucking
God.
Is that a
everything.
20?
Yeah.
Cool.
Messenger
Messenger.
brains.
You know what? So, you search around looking for messenger pigeons and you find none, but then knives in the captain's cabin. You see, well, Annie was the one looking, so as you're looking around, Annie, you come in, just bravely venturing up for a moment.
With my
You
clipboard.
see, on a perch,
Yes,
sitting
clipboard.
there silently, a falcon. That seems to have been trained to deliver messages.
She eats it.
Hey, Captain
You can tell
Knives, they've
because
left
it's got a
us a
little
snack.
It's like pecking and clawing you.
What?
You just go create your own noise.
Did you just snake?
I don't know what I did.
Alright, so yeah, a falcon sits upon a wooden perch.
There
in the
be a
captain's
bird.
cabin.
That's pretty cool.
Does it have a name tag?
No.
Hey, look, it's Tweety.
No.
Yes. I found it, I named it.
No, his name's Captain.
Captain?
Captain Falcon.
Okay, yeah, yep.
Well, yeah, perhaps an auspicious sign.
Well, that is interesting.
Do we name the ship? Can we do that now?
I was going to do it in Tentries.
Oh, we're not going to Tentries.
But then how are we going to get Emmett?
Yeah, we need Emmett.
Do we though?
Alright, you know what?
We
First
need a
things
boat
first, we have a
fixer.
messenger falcon now. We can send a message to Emmett.
Yeah.
Can he write even? Is he smart?
This falcon will get there in like 10 minutes. We'll have a response in like half an hour.
Oh, really? Are they that fast?
Go!
We can also talk to the falcon.
Oh. Okay.
Let's send a message to
If
Emmett.
it satisfies your need
Let's
to
just-
go to 10 trees without us actually going to 10 trees, go for it.
Well, I mean, if we write to Emmett and we could just get him to meet us down the peninsula somewhere.
Kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
If it means we don't go to 10 trees, sure.
Alright, let's do that. Let's send Emmett a message
Alright,
using Captain Falcon.
cool.
I can't speak with animals.
I'm so unhappy with these names.
The Captain's Falcon.
Hello, Captain Falcon.
Yes! Fucking push! Show me your moves!
Show me your moves. Thumb kick.
All right. You speak.
Well, that's not his voice.
Yes. Are you able to deliver a message for us?
I think what a falcon sounds like. No. It's just what I've been trained for.
It's Bishop.
Oh god.
Oh god. Oh no.
No, he's leaning forward!
He shape changes.
If you're really a bird, your head has to stay perfectly still while your
Rotate
body
your owl.
moves.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's what birds do. Their heads, when
Is it
they're...
all of them?
The birds of
do it.
prey, their heads don't move and their bodies do.
Give me the note.
Chickens do.
Give me the note.
I've got a video of a kookaburra
you
I'll show you.
Oh.
I can strap it to its leg because that's where they go. Emmett, 10 trees.
I'm going to assume that there's...
Boy looks in green
I'm
clothing.
going to say this is
blonde
kind of
hair.
a magical training thing where this kind of messenger falcon is able to work that sort of thing out. Much like there's a spell called it's like beast messenger or something like animal messenger. So
Yes,
it's
there is
druid
that.
spell. I'm going to basically say that this falcon has that ability.
Body's moving its head.
Emmett O'Farah.
And rotate your owl. Can you move it again?
I want an owl.
Faux aura.
Farah.
Faux aura.
Faux aura.
I'm also going to ask, what is your real name?
Yeah. Of time. Hero of time.
Give him a name.
Actually, sorry, that's Hero of.
I know why I
His
rolled.
first name is Time.
Yes.
So stupid.
It's pretty clever. I mean, it's cute.
It's cute. I'm not that clever. It's cute.
I don't know. What is the falcon called?
Shut up.
Captain's Falcon.
You probably
Or like long wings or
Okay.
something.
What's the name from Journey to the Center of the Earth or whatever? No, was it the Mummy? Sorry, the Mummy. There's the Falcon in the Mummy. What's it called?
Ben and Fraser.
Yeah.
Falcon? I don't know. Let's find out.
The last captain called me Prim.
Its name is Prim.
Head prick.
Oh, Prim.
Do this for us, Prim, and we will get you plenty of seeds.
Captain Falcon, also known by the non-canon name of Douglas J. Falcon.
Too bad its name is Prim.
It's short for Prim Doug.
Doug the Falcon.
Takes off into the window, no, out the window, and then away over the waves, flashing a bit with the wind. But with the letter, what does the letter say? Just to asking Emmett to meet you, or?
Yeah.
It's not homeboy.
Dear Emmett, we are traveling to a far-off land in search of adventure and a way to aid the god Aetel. We would really appreciate your assistance in this adventure, and I know how much you wanted to adventure. Yours adventurously.
Adventurers.
The Adventurer's 5.
You get back a letter, not long later. It is like a couple of hours, but it's not long.
Prim, you did so well.
Swimming.
Is a berry.
Picks your arm off.
Pretty sure they eat animals.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was about to.
There's probably mice down below.
No, there's no mice. No.
There's no mice because Anielloa has been down there killing them all.
Yeah, I've
You go
been,
down there, it's just a pile of
I've been
bodies.
leveling up downstairs just killing all the mice.
Anielloa's grinding.
I steal one dead
I
mouse.
just go out the door, come back in. Oh yeah!
Sea falcon. They catch fish. This is not a real thing. These are a made-up bird.
Well, now they have rat.
Cool.
no, we killed this.
Nibbles at you. You get back a reply. Knives. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, I want to come so bad. But I mean, there's all these things, I've got to deal with, Bilfred being injured and Mum's here and I don't. You see then the writing just sort of stops and then there's a much neater hand underneath. It's like, hey, Knives. This is Fenelon. Bilfred is not getting the care he needs. Can he come too?
This bit's like, I'm gonna go fucking back.
We're
Can
getting
he
all
come
3 of them?
too?
We're gonna get all 3 of them.
I mean, that would be good.
I really want to get
They're
out of
skilled.
it, like.
Yeah, he needs a pirate leg.
Yep.
Otherwise, he's useless.
Oh, yeah.
Felix goes looking through the items for a leg.
I could make
We
a wooden
actually
leg.
just want in for the aesthetic.
I could make a crystal leg.
And Wilfred's also more injured than a leg will handle.
Yeah, it's his spine. Isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Spinal
he can't
injuries.
move. He's just going to be in the way.
Yeah, man. You got some cool wheelchairs.
He can help in
Yeah.
other ways.
What do you guys think? Should we bring Wilfred and Fenelon and Emmett?
He could sail the boat.
Yes.
I mean, he's got a bow.
It does stink.
At this point, we really need all the help we can get on this ship.
True, we do need more deckhands. And Wilfred, being a forge master, could also help with the repairs that we require.
Fenelon's also
as well.
a very competent blacksmith.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
she's a blacksmith, so she'd be a little out of her depth, but this is the sort of thing that they do. Like, they built their own house.
Wilfred can rest and Fenella can work.
Yes.
But we need to name this ship. And we need to come up with a group name. And we need to find you a name.
Hello.
We need names because I need to belong to something.
That was a lot.
I have a name in mind for the ship.
Okay,
That,
share to the group,
I take the note and just like,
Yeah.
I send him up again.
obviously.
Well, they start arguing.
yes, meet us somewhere on the peninsula at 5 o'clock.
We'll figure out where.
The cliffs. That,
Yes.
Yep.
that
Meet us at the
cove where
cliffs.
you...
Yeah. Go cliff jumping.
Yeah.
Just jump onto the ship. We'll catch you.
That basically is what they'll have to do. Like, there's not a beach there. They will be climbing down onto the ship.
Somehow the seagull.
That sounds really
Seagull.
epic.
The
Dolphin
seagull.
goes. "Ah," as it flies over.
That's my thing.
I would like to call the ship the Sweet Caroline.
Hey, Caroline.
We like this name. We concur.
As a bard, I hate it. Never want to hear those words again.
I like it. It's nice, pretty.
Sounds like I am out
It sounds lovely.
overruled.
Why?
It was my mother's name.
Oh, that's
Now I feel
sweet.
like an asshole.
That's so
Fuck you.
lovely. Did
Fuck
she
you,
die?
dude.
You insensitive prick.
Yes. Yes, she did.
No, I'm sensing tragic.
What's that?
What is wrong with me?
It's fresh off the grill.
You guys do. I'd like... Knives just said his mother died.
Yeah, Felix walks
We
away.
know. We were just
Felix walks away
getting
from
there.
this conversation. Immediately.
Awkward. I said, I think I asked him, was it tragic?
Yes. Kind of the whole reason I got into the Arturian Navy.
Oh, that seems interesting.
I was born in a place up north called Port Cybella, which was attacked by pirates when I was quite young. The now Admiral Nor was chasing these pirates and found me there and effectively adopted me.
Oh,
I've been on boats ever since.
why were you in 10 trees then? If you're supposed to be boat ridden.
There was something terrible happened. I don't quite remember, but I was given captaincy of my first ship. We were sailing out to continue to hunt the pirates of the Hand of Lys when suddenly a storm rolled in, seemingly out of nowhere. I blacked out, and the next thing I remember, I came to covered in blood, heavily breathing with my swords in my hand and all the crew members dead.
All of your crew?
Aye.
I mean, I'm fearing for my life right now.
What is it to die?
Never coming back again. Never. You go. You are not. Can't. There's nothing. Nothing anymore. No one knows where you are. You don't know where you are. You see nothing. You just are nothing. There's just black.
Wow, that's depressing.
And then you wake up again, obviously.
Wait, what?
I see. So you don't like storms?
There was something off about it. It was no natural storm.
Sounds like magic to me. I mean,
The thing is, I would never do that.
what do you mean?
It couldn't have been me. I would die defending my crew.
That's good to know. But I mean, you've blacked out before. Remember? No, you wouldn't remember.
You nearly killed us.
Yes.
Yes. Because you were threatening my crew.
You do be right.
But
Yes.
the last time that happened, I sort of just lent into my infernal ancestry. I remember what happened when we were trying to take down Lady Costroca.
Did you do the same? Was it the same then?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I feel like this is... something is awakening inside me. And as I lean into it, if I don't fight it, I can remember and know what's happening, but... yeah.
Maybe you need to embrace all parts of you, and then you will be okay.
I think so.
I mean, it
Actually makes sense.
it's a part of you.
I think that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I'm glad that you think that we're crew and you'll protect us, but I'm also kind of worried that you'll protect us to death.
No harm will ever become you again.
And also, I'm very sorry about your mum. No dad
No.
figure.
No, this was a sort of seedy port town. From what Admiral Nor told me, where he found me, it was sort of a port of call for sailors, you could say.
I see. So you could be everyone's son. Why are you laughing? You could be.
It's, yes, true.
Maybe we'll find your daddy one day.
Maybe.
As you have this conversation,
Your dad pops out of.
you can't help but for a moment look over your shoulder towards the horizon and feel like you see a black storm cloud. So you look again and it's gone.
It is your dad.
Okay, so a letter has gone.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
As the conversation ends and the group kind of disperses, Felix comes back over. He was just kind of stepped away from all of that with a bit of a tear in his eye. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry too. It's awful to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You didn't even hear it. You weren't even here. You walked away.
He's still in earshot.
Yeah, he's just stepped away. He's not deaf.
I'm
Yeah, well-
also sorry, friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, hi. I'm confused.
Cool.
So,
He got it. That's all that matters.
so you wanted a name for our new friend here, and
Yeah.
Well,
are we a mercenary group now? Why do we need a name?
I think we just need a name because I need.
while they're arguing, I'm gonna study them.
What are you stabbing?
What?
What?
No, I'm just standing studying.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
because of what I should know.
you know where I came from,
Of course
and
I
ever
can't.
since then, the only thing that sort of kept me not going completely insane is knowing that I belonged somewhere and to something, and now I have nothing.
Working
So
out why that thing isn't
I
happening.
don't know who I am, and I've got a lot of things in my head that are telling me to do different things. So you might have noticed that I speak funny sometimes because I don't actually know what to do all the time. And so if I have something to tell me what to do, I can be like, oh, I belong to this group now, and I can be this person. Because otherwise, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm doing.
Should be a lot of that going
Up,
around.
Joe.
We are one. We are many.
Why does everyone have the same problems?
Well, at the moment you belong to the crew.
The crew.
I don't like that.
We are now the Fast and Furious film. The crew.
We're family.
We are family.
So
Don't get ahead of it.
you look up and you study this hole. There are things that you know
Yep.
that you just feel. You knew before you were broken free, and you know now. You also know that you cannot put something back together without all of its parts.
Yep. With
They're all terrible.
the thing that I know that should be happening, but isn't happening, could I potentially put
They're all
it together that this might be a bit more orchestrated
I did this a long time ago.
than just happening?
What do you know that should be happening that isn't happening?
The thing in the notes. The very last point in the...
The last point.
I'm keeping
I'm
that in.
probably going to tell them anyway, so I'm just saying that realistically...
Oh, right,
that
right,
everyone
right.
None of them
should
make
be...
any sense. We haven't
So, the thing that you...
Do you want to roll an insight check to see that?
You can feel that presence.
Yep.
Those presences, whatever that may be. You know they're there. You don't think the thing that's keeping them there was the orchestration of this shattering. You think it's Aetul,
Cool.
and you think
Yep.
they're dying.
As in Aetul is. Oh, shit.
And
Not
that,
surprising. It's
and
taking,
that-
what, 1 million damage
yeah.
a second?
So looking up, you're hearing this same more distant now as you do start to pull away enough to kind of see the overall sight. But you know that that is a barrier that will fall. And you know what will happen if it does.
Fuck.
Did you just say that?
All right, so as we head to the cove back near 10 Trees, is there anything else that anyone wants to have done before leaving?
So, can you forge pink slips for this ship?
Probably.
Call it the Sweet Caroline. We need to, I suppose, when Emmett gets on board, he can carve out a new sign that we can replace on the side or the back or wherever they are.
Back.
Yeah. Sure can. Yeah. I can do that.
You'll also have to replicate this receipt and say that it's in my name.
Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Captain.
All right. So you can make you have proficiency in forgery kit?
Sure do.
Cool. So you can make a dexterity forger's kit check.
Is that just the same as thieves' tools?
Yeah, it's
Sorted?
just dexterity. Dexterity? It's just dexterity plus proficiency.
Well, the dick hands about.
Oh no.
These are fucking shitty.
Yeah. 8.
8. Okay. So
Wait, we're on a boat, motherfucker. I'm like,
Yeah, and you are pretty uncomfortable on the boat.
I can do it better if we stop.
So you forge these documents.
Can I try again?
At this point, no.
Yeah, fair.
A little bit after all of that, Felix kind of climbs up the crow's nest to the crow's nest to just be alone for a little bit, and starts reading through his journal, and reads through this onslaught of very, very insulting messages that have been left for him about how he's making horrible choices and that he's being an idiot. And he just kind of reflects and reads over them. And after a while, just rips them and just tears them from his journal as he just kind of goes through.
Do they fall onto the ship?
If it's windy and air spills about, they will definitely not just fall into the ship.
I don't know.
Well, he's not fussed. He's not really thinking about it. He's just kind of.
They fall onto the ship.
Yeah, a couple of pages. Not all of them, but a couple do.
Just anything that he doesn't like, he just rips it.
Yep.
Goes over a few which are a bit more important, and just kind of reflects on everything he missed. Then he kind of gets to the end, and there's one that's written in Marvidish that says, "Give her a chance." And he just kind of stares at it for a bit and just closes and thinks about everything that went on and the weight of the decision he's made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just spends a bit of time reflecting.
Okay. Was there anything that Felix did before leaving Costroca?
Not that he really recalls. Someone else did.
Was there anything that someone else did before leaving Costroca?
Yeah. Who's unnamed man? After Liam the Whisperer.
Oh my god, it's the edge.
I'm gonna throw my dice at it. I don't care how much it costs. Wow, I put it on real stupid. He kind of skulks around the back alleys. First of all, he's chasing up on the information that he tried to grab on Terrence on Felix's behalf.
Yep.
It's not been very long. I don't know what he's going to get. But
Yep. So you go back to the contact. You go back to your contact, who hasn't, they haven't even sent you a message to say, we've got something.
And he just knows he's short on time.
Yeah. He's like, "You're back very soon."
I don't think I'll be here very long. Just whatever you can give me, at least a start, something I can follow up on later.
Well, I have nothing solid. All I can tell you is what I've heard. This was a tough tree to bark up. Straight down the line. Really well-managed finances. Not particularly good with relationships. Apparently quite a lot of there were a lot of, let's just say there have been a lot of letters sent to people of interest. For some reason, he's still not married. It's the best I can give you.
Interesting. You might have to meet this man one day. It's a start. I appreciate the work. If you can find anything else, I don't know if I'll be back ever. But if I am, you've done good. Hand over some amount of coin.
It's been a pleasure, Whisperer.
Tell no one. And as soon as he steps around the corner, fuck, what did you do? And he kind of slops into the muck of an alleyway. And over the course of an hour, maybe more, just kind of goes. Before Felix is kind of sitting in the muck, just like, ow! Oh, shit. And he just sits in pain and 1 HP or something.
Yep.
Until eventually, I think it was you that rocked up. Because
I brought everyone else, but
yeah. And whatever I said in that moment.
You said...
What would we have done after? Go to a tavern or something? I don't know.
We went back to the lady's house and then went back to the Fairbolt tribe. And then went and saw that stone sword.
Yeah, the sword in the lake, not in the stone.
Yeah, I more mean just like the passage of time between then, so that Felix has time to just recuperate from all of his wounds and the time that he's just been gone.
Yep. Yeah, well, I think an inn, a tavern, something. Maybe Lady Omerlon's house. She probably would have put you up. Actually, would have been a logical thing. So maybe you all stayed there, or even
the camp.
or the camp. Could have gone back to the Fairbolt.
You would have gone wherever you'd taken.
Yep. Yeah, given what you did, Fairbolt camp makes sense.
Yeah. Current a sliver of a man, barely alive, with a very, very broken arm. We'll have to just be gone for 24 hours. Not 24 hours, like 8 hours, maybe more.
And what does everyone... We had a few questions. Is there anything that's asked of Felix in that time about the person who was missing?
Oh yeah. Where have you been?
Yes, how did you deal with being stuck in Lady Costroca's care?
Did she put you in a different room?
I never was. I never met the woman. You might recall.
Where did you...
I was never there.
Yeah, but we thought you were.
I think no one.
No, you were
ever
never
saw
in
Felix,
the town.
Yeah.
You weren't in the town.
Yeah.
Keep going in character, you're fine. You're on the same page.
Where did you go? What happened?
No, he was captured with terror.
No, not quite. Before I say much else, perhaps you could give me the dot points of what occurred. What happened? This man told you nothing, and he helped you.
Oh yeah.
Sort of just assumed he was a local. He seemed quite close with
You're like a
the hunter.
vigilante type guy. It was pretty cool.
He kept saying he is vengeance.
Yeah. No.
The hero that Costroca deserved.
Yeah.
Something.
Not what it wants, but...
He was really cool. He wore a beanie.
kind of looked like the Edge.
Okay.
Trying to help.
Okay.
Cool. So Devin's character's name's Bono.
No.
His name's gonna be Pelt.
Nah, your name is
Bongo Man.
Sorry, we're getting off topic.
Focus, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Then he actually did what I asked.
You know him?
He never does that.
Oh.
It's not my business to exchange all of his very personal information, and he would make my life a living hell if I dared to, but I've never had to do this before. I don't actually know what to tell you. I guess he and I are linked in a way.
Like brothers? Family?
That's a way to put it. Very close.
Twins?
A bit more than that. Fuck. Oh my god. It's not really any good place to put this thing. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know the nature of it. I don't know if it's some magic that I don't understand, or I don't know if it's just me. But every now and then, he deals with what I can't.
Insight check. I want to see if you do know what you're, like, how to explain it, but you're choosing things to admit, like, not say. And that's what you're thinking about.
I'll roll the same anyway, but yeah.
You're correct. I think your plus is more than what I rolled, so that's fine.
Well, didn't roll great. I'd be...
More than
I don't know.
11. Then.
Either way, it's more than 11.
Yeah.
And actually, no. That's a lie. I reckon it's persuasion, so it's not. It's 10, but it doesn't matter because you get the sense that he's being very restrictive in what he's talking about, and he's choosing his words very carefully. But you don't think he's lying.
No, I don't think you're lying. I think you're just choosing to omit information.
Yeah, he's being he's talking slow. Felix doesn't talk slow. Felix is a very confident speaker. Fancy words. Felix is crawling at picking the words apart, like he's scared of saying the wrong thing. He's just always been there.
You're saying you have a stalker?
No. I don't know if he would choose to follow me around. If this didn't make it obvious, we share a lot. It was not me, but I guess in a way it was.
What happened to your arm?
It's the same wound as well.
Felix, I think you'd figured out that
I
Josh
get that.
No, I'm just saying for full elaboration because I think when Josh Arn rocked up, my arm was fucked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when he fell off the pole.
Yeah, and people kind of put that together, and then Whisperer was walking around with the same injury the whole time. Well, this, I believe, happened when I took the pole down at the camp. Did you see that? Was it cool?
So you are the Whisperer?
No.
You are hiding things.
That's different. No, I'm very much not. It's not how it works. He and I are not the same. But he is there when I am not, and he does what I can't.
I can relate.
Oh, we have.
What?
Sort of.
Nose does the same thing.
And I black
Yes?
out.
He goes black.
Have you ever tried leaning into it, accepting that you are the Whisperer? Maybe then it will be.
Go with it. Be one with your inside.
Now?
For one, I have no idea what you're talking about. And two, we are very much not the same. I promise you.
Can I see the back of your head?
Okay.
Is there a face there?
I'm not Voldemort.
No, you can't say that.
Yes. No, there is not.
Wait, he's not wearing anything.
Oh.
Remove the hat.
It's okay. There are creatures in my world that have this type of thing too, and they can go forwards one way and be this lovely person, then they turn around and it's a different, being on the back, and they're just opposite.
Your realm sounds terrifying. Are you sure you want to go back?
You do not know a terrifying realm.
That's ominous. Am I?
What's that?
Any other day, I would be so excited.
Please do elaborate,
I am.
Crystal Man.
Are you actually asking?
We haven't actually
That sounds
asked
ominous.
anything about
Where you
you're
came from?
Oh, excuse me.
I did pee so bad. Every time I laugh, whoa. Is this the time?
It's a time. There is a realm far beyond here. We're connected. I am what stood in front of that realm and stopped what came through.
Oh, right. That's a lot.
The fact that there is a hole in the sky means that whatever I was stopping, Airtool is now stopping.
Well, shit.
I want
So,
Air falls.
You're as strong as Airtel.
That's where my brain just went to. I'm like, that's floor.
So-
Plot hole.
You're what, the guardian of this realm from your realm?
We are. There are as many of us.
Oh, so you were guarding. Well, you
Was
were
it-
all guarding, and then you all fell, and we just got you. One.
We are not one.
No, I mean, but there are more of you out there, potentially.
I hope so, yes.
We could have an army of crystal guys.
Was it just this realm you were protecting, or other realms?
Ooh.
Okay. So you know what I sent you. So you know it is in those notes, but I'll just say now for ease. You were aware of 2.
Cool.
But there was always the possibility that there was more.
So does that mean 2 others of you protecting different realms? Or 2 protecting, like 3 of you protecting this world?
We protect this realm, but it could be other realms. We're unsure if there's others.
Maybe that's how I got here. No, I touched a ball.
But I can tell you, when Ayatul falls, everyone will die.
Well, it's fucking massive, obviously.
What were you protecting the realm from?
Monsters.
Such
Creatures that I cannot even describe.
Such as the ones that we fought in Tentries.
I wasn't there for that one.
You weren't there for that one.
You did see some of them though.
The ticks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reading a note, 1 second.
Oh, right.
Those are fort eaters. We know them. They suck our emotions out of us.
Oh.
And take them away? They don't take them away, though.
Yes. We do not know death.
That would be nice.
They didn't take...
So you're saying they take some of your consciousness?
They take your emotion.
They drain you of emotion and then kill.
So you do know what death is.
We know when forts go quiet. If that is what death is, then yes.
Which is funny because this is a flashback, so that conversation happened after this.
Have they been feeding on...
They've feeded on us for
on you?
generations.
Yep, I was just going to say they've
centuries.
been feeding on you because you got no emotions. Yep, that makes sense. That's really cool.
Yeah, we have no emotions.
That's really cool. That's
You would also definitely know that they do have emotions.
Who? You?
Yeah.
Well,
I've been like mega
First
rage
experience was just intense rage.
that's right.
and then calm when you started helping.
How come you've got emotions if they've been feeding on you?
Because we can fight them back,
Can make
but
more
everyone that we
emotions.
kill, more appear.
I see. It's an ooze.
The horde never ends.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I look forward to
So
dealing with that.
do you have like 1,000 thoughts in your head right now, or are you just a single entity that has been separated from the 1,000 thoughts?
We have definitely been separated from a lot of our thoughts. There are a
lot
lot
of.
that remain. But the song that we hear is silent.
So you're connected to the other 2, maybe?
Other 2.
You
There are
there was-
millions.
Yeah, but you said there was 3 in your group.
I think he was talking about realms,
Yes.
not entities.
I would be so excited if I wasn't so tired. This is
You need
everything-
healing.
This is everything I wanted to hear for such a long time, and now it just seems so awful that I don't know if I need to hear it. God, everything's fucked.
The only way to repair the sky is to collect us all.
I have to catch them all.
Quest!
There are 180. I don't remember how many the original.
Yeah, shit.
It's
151.
151.
I always say 150 because the game keeps telling you that. It's not true.
Yeah, cool. All right then. Sure. Let's go do that.
That's a good lead.
First, I think we need to rest. I need to rest.
Sure. Let's have a day and then go.
And that's why I made you the navigator.
This conversation is why I find it so important that we go east.
From back on the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you don't have a name. Does your species have a name? What are you?
We have only ever been we.
No.
We're an I at the end.
We could call you Ew. Just backwards. I don't know.
That one feels insulting.
Yeah.
Well, what have you referred to yourselves as? Just we?
We have never needed a name.
You said you were a Unity before.
We could call you Unity. Unit. We could call you
Absolute unit. I don't hate Unity.
AU.
It's a bit generic, but it works.
the Unity. No. We could be now. Our group could be called the Unity. No, we're the crew. That's right, we're the crew.
I don't like that.
The Unity.
I so want to put in ideas for names.
I have a whole list.
What do you think, Emmett?
Emmett, who is not here yet, but will be.
Jumps into the boat.
I was gonna say,
Hey, Lane!
Lane's,
You're a
I mean,
cosmic dude.
I don't know, it sounds like there's a whole sort of song motif going on here.
Call it Mary
I
Jane.
don't know, maybe like, could go with
The bots.
refrain, I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm trying to think of something about music. Yeah.
Did he have that when
Harmon
he
a
came
name?
in?
Like,
It'd just
you could
be
do short
filled with
for harmony.
seawater.
You could be Harmon. Harmon. That's a name, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I need to grab a drink.
You have to like something, or else we'll just be going to call you, hey you, forever. I don't know. I've said this a number of times. There's such a power in names. You need to choose the right one.
Yes.
Maybe it'd make more sense if you chose. You say you feel things.
Yeah,
What do you feel strongly about?
just a name that sums you up as a species.
Sharpie.
Sharpie?
Sharpie.
I don't get it, but
They're the crystals.
is that
I mean,
what
dude,
defines
I
you?
think it's really more about what's inside, right? Like who you are.
Millions.
The stoned furball was right.
We just look at it. We are millions.
Millicent.
I mean,
Maximum.
Maximilian?
Maximilian. Oh,
I love that.
that's a tough name.
That's pretty good.
You don't have to do like a, human name. You could,
But Maximilian is such a cool name.
what did you want, dude?
We could do Max.
Put 2 X's in there so it looks
Maximilian?
Sure.
Or millions.
A lot of us
choice.
internally are not happy with this choice. Majority are.
we voted internal debate.
We are.
It'll do for
We are
now.
hosting an internal debate.
Hey,
Hey, look, it'll do for now.
names don't need to be set in stone, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's not really how it works in a metaphysical matter, but that's fine. Well, if an all-powerful mage tries to curse you and uses the name Maximilian and it doesn't work, then you know you need a new name.
I don't know what that
Really
means.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's going to be so spew when she missed this.
It's such a poor time to walk away.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We shall
Pleasure to
convene.
meet you, dude.
Debate
I just
amongst
look
yourselves.
at his hand like,
Grab it and shake. Squeeze as hard as you can.
he would not give a shit. I have -1 strength.
Oh, yeah.
He would be like,
Your hand
wow, you got
shatters.
firm grip.
Yeah. Good shake. Good shake, dude.
I did it. Did I do it right?
You did it right, yes.
Crush. I just fixed that.
See, I'm still.
I just walk around just doing it to everyone.
Pleasure
I'm
to
out.
meet you, Maximilian.
You missed it.
Yeah, we named him.
Oh no! God damn my bladder!
Alright.
What's your name?
Why is it capitalizing?
Max!
Maximilian.
There's one more thing I had as well.
Maximilian, you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Max.
Could have called you
Every single time you now have to
You
refer to
can
me.
never shorten it. It has to be Maximilian.
Maximilian.
Yeah, got to feel the full
I
effect
still like
of the
millions.
name.
Just millions.
Millie. Hey.
Who makes that perfume?
We like Millie.
The
Lion.
1 million?
Oh, one way, yeah.
Millie?
Okay.
I like Millie too.
Is
We
it
like
Paco
Millie.
Rabanne?
You like Millie?
Millie.
Can call you Paco.
No, you like Millie.
We have now
Hey.
decided Millie.
They are Millie. It's still Maximilian. but it's
We are many. We are Millie.
I love it.
We are many.
Millie.
You are one.
So,
Upon reflection on my notes, I'm gonna go find Juniper.
Juniper.
Juniper. Yeah, we've made the
You haven't
joke.
said anything in ages.
Yeah. That's half of it.
mine's been listening.
Yeah.
Am I comfortable?
No, I actually do have something to do. You're below deck? What are you up to?
Let's say that I walked away and I found a quiet spot.
Okay. I searched for hours.
On a boat.
I've become invisible.
And eventually
And
it was
leave.
just You. I don't really know how to address you. Can I come in?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't think this would be so awkward. You had the master script. I thought maybe we could go over it. We have some downtime.
Yes, now would be a fine time.
And I thought it might be a chance to clear the air a bit. I know you're not overly fond of me.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
I would say that I was like mid-prayer as well.
Cool.
All right, come on, you can sit down. You don't have to stand in the doorway.
Okay. Does so. Look, I know when I first showed up, I was a bit of a dick. I was a bit of a smart ass. It's genuinely how I am. But if I'm being completely honest, I was really excited to meet you. And not for the same bullshit reasons as everyone else. With all due respect, I do not care that you're famous. In fact, what I found most interesting was what the person behind all of these fantastic stories is. I grew up with these tales. I grew up with a lot of tales, and the idea of actually meeting someone who's done all these things was great, but I have never had much care for warfare and war stories, but I'm really interested in people. And I say this respectfully, you are not at all what I expected.
Well, a lot of those stories, they happened a long time ago.
I'm sure. Well, I guess in the mindset of trying to get along, I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm just very curious to see what kind of person you are outside of this role. I imagine this is a big deal leaving. When was the last time you left the peninsula?
I don't believe I ever have.
Ever. Wow.
Yeah, this is my home. These are my people. I've not had a reason to.
Well, as painful as it must be to be away, I hope that you get a chance to revel in the things that you might see. It's a big world.
I don't know what to expect.
No, listen. But well, I'd say it'd be fun if it wasn't so grim, but I don't know. Make the most of it while you can, I guess.
I suppose so.
Shall we? Read.
Cool.
Reading montage.
We'll do the reading next time.
Another time? Yeah, cool. All good.
Because we're already at
Yeah, fair.
Next time a dragon.
So, memories flashing through all of your minds, reconsidering.
One last thing. I need to send a letter to Admiral Nor.
Okay. What are you sending in that letter, or do you know what to say?
I don't know. Okay. I'll
So
send
you
something.
we'll say you sit down at that captain's desk, quill in hand, preening himself, just kind of watching you. And you sit with the quill on the page for a while and go, before you eventually write a letter. And we'll work out what that is later. So,
I think we just need to decide where we're headed.
you pull into that small cove and see atop the cliff Emmett. Oh God. Oh, down there!
Oh my
I'm coming down! Starts like climbing down. Fenelon's like, you gonna help me with the rope? Okay. Come on, Dad. You see, just like Bilfred's just over her shoulder as she's just like slowly clambering down this with one hand. And Emma's like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Comes back and starts helping her. She's like,
Level 10 barbarian.
he is conscious at this point, so he's actually more like, he's holding on, probably actually backpack rather than over the shoulder. But he's sort of looking, and they descend down and eventually onto the deck of the ship come the three of them. And then you see, atop the cliff as well, just sort of standing there, wringing his hands like, "Hoi, I might have followed. Can I come on board?" As
he was in trouble.
bearded merchant Hugh stands atop the cliff and he's like,
My good fellow.
"All my goods got confiscated. I really need to get out of here. Can I come?"
Can we keep him?
I have something of yours. Come on down.
Awesome, great. Now let's see. How do I? Yeah. And Emmett's like, I'll go get him, and goes running up, like clambering up the cliff, and just kind of helps him. Like, nope, watch your foot. And then
We named the falcon Barnaby. That was the donkey's name, right?
This is the donkey. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the four of them end up on the deck, and they're kind of all there. Emmett just immediately runs up and hugs the first one of you that he sees.
Surely it would be nice.
Probably Knives, yeah. Runs up and sees Knives. Just hugs you, and how do you react?
He's hugging you like this. He's just so much muscle.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'm so glad you're all... I'm so excited. And he just kind of starts like running around the ship looking for things to do, and he's like, "Tell me what to do," and just is immediately kind of jumping onto it.
You can start by slowing down.
I know his energy is too much for me.
Trips down the stairs.
And then Fenelon comes up and, all right, Captain Redhorn, is it?
Aye.
You see just over the shoulder. My boy, it is good to see you. This is Bilfred on the shoulder. I'm sorry to be. I'm very sorry to be in imposition.
Was he always French?
No, but he's supposed to have been.
Ah, okay.
I see.
I'm doing his other accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hurt one. The after.
He can't. He's in so much
Trauma.
pain. He can't focus on the fake accent anymore.
Well, he doesn't need to
mate, I get
pretend
it.
to be a local.
You're with friends.
There's like rooms downstairs if you want to just chill.
All right.
Might be worth going to see Juniper. Maybe she can help you out a little.
All right. That'd be great. Thank you. So they go down below deck. Fenelon brings Bilfred into you and like places him down carefully on a bed or something. He kind of is leaned up against a wall. He's like, "This is I'm so sorry to be such an imposition on you, but this is, Fenelon, she insisted. The Duke was, questioning and saying no one is to leave, and, there's a good possibility that I will... Well, there's still damage. I'm not totally out of the woods. And Fenelon's like, and he needed proper care. The Duke was not doing it. That man's an asshole. So, he doesn't know we came. Don't worry.
Is Bishop still there?
No, actually. Bishop left with Burrow for Arkansas.
What do you mean left? Why did they? What? Why would they
I
leave?
knew they were leaving.
Who's running 10 trees now? Is it those Felixarians?
No. The Duke.
Oh,
So he's probably stationed there.
Joy. I'm
thing we
glad
didn't
we
go back
didn't
there.
go.
Very, very good. Yes.
Yeah, no, he's
Would have sucked.
a large amount of the town have been sort of taken in a caravan to Argenset to answer questions for the king. They turned the village upside down looking for you lot.
Oh, gee. See, this was my point before. I'm worrying about people.
Felix, without order, has started just like, okay, it's leaving time.
So yeah, we probably better get sailing.
Yeah, let's go.
What's wrong with your father?
A roofing beam fell down on him. Spinal thing. You can also see he's missing one leg, but the other's there, just is
Is he
useless.
paralyzed?
Waist down.
I'd reach out and touch him. Lesser laceration.
Not that kind of paralysis.
Fuck you!
Goodbye, Sasslot.
Yeah.
We didn't need that.
But you try
I'd
to
still
put in,
do it anyway, 'cause
you try to
I'll
put in the
figure it out.
magic, and he kind of tries to move, and the Lord Burrow, you tried. This is unfortunately, it appears, my lot. Fennell's like, Dad, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna find a way. Thank you.
I give him my staff so he can walk, like, he can use it as a little cane.
He can't even use that leg. Yeah. Otherwise, he takes it and I appreciate
I'm
it.
an idiot. I don't know how a human works.
Do better.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand human
Yeah, he
either.
goes, I appreciate it, but keep it.
I mean, you should just be able to get up. But hey.
I'm going to have a nap. And he starts to go to sleep, and then Fennell goes, all right. Well, where do you need me?
Dick hand.
We assign a role.
She's the deckhand.
Just deckhand.
She's the yeah, both.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Her
With
and,
Emmett.
yeah.
I feel like Emmett would probably be a deckhand.
Yeah, he's just in everything too. He's got too much
We don't know he's an elf, but he's got elf
He
eyes,
can
right?
be her assistant.
Yes.
Yeah, so he can just fucking be in the
Look out.
nest.
He'd
Yeah.
fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut that. We should. No one should know that.
It's fine. He's got point of ears.
Right.
He keeps them hidden under.
I thought we didn't know that. Never mind.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe we cut it.
I didn't
Whatever.
even hear what you said.
Sorry.
Don't worry about
That's
it.
okay.
So,
Oh no.
it appears we have a crew.
Yay, Hugh! I'm so
As-
excited you're here again. Here's the
I have a suggestion.
bag.
How long would it take us to get to Costa Barbaros? Costa Barbaros?
Yep.
How long would that take? Is that a good stopping point?
Tell me.
Barely outside of Eteria.
Let's just say Costa Barbaros. That's just the coast. It's not a particular town or anything, but there are towns. There would be towns along there. Let's just get
Is
the
that
four of you. Definitely not you. No, definitely not you either.
No
the
shit.
three of you. You can make an intelligence check or a survival check to see if you know, like, of a port town on the Costa Barbaros.
I've also written my letter.
Is
What
this,
am I making? What check? Sorry.
Intelligence or survival.
Intelligence. That's 20. Dirty 20.
Are we going east?
Dirty 20.
I think I have +3 in survival, but let me just double check that. I think I got a 15.
Magical.
Yes, 15.
Great. So
Luckily, we didn't do too many rolls this game.
I didn't get out a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's pretty fair. It makes sense that I rolled well.
So what'd you get? What did you get?
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Yeah. I know Sangara.
Yeah. So Costa Barbaros, there is a town,
It's very helpful.
which I'll have to name. But the Costa Barbaros is actually peppered with port towns. You would be able to find one to put in, and it is south enough of the border. There'll be a little bit of dicey waters as you're sailing down along the coast past Fort Howell and that sort of area. But it is close.
It's risky, but I think it's worth it. And then we can get everything done outside of Eteria where we're not going to get caught. And then we've got free reign of the seas. Sangaro and Mavid very friendly with each other. Not so much Eteria.
Why are we stopping there?
Yeah,
For the
why?
supplies.
We need supplies so that we can actually make it to wherever we're headed. I still think we head for the Sentinel Isles, but if you think there's somewhere that we need to go.
I think we need
If it's east, Sentinel Isles are east as well. We could do both.
Yes.
It could be where we need to go.
Both.
Away.
the singing still
Sounds
happening.
If you stop and focus, you can hear it.
Cool.
Both might be the best bet. We can learn what we can about you and about whatever's going on, and then we make way to whatever you're hearing.
Yay.
Glad we had that other conversation because in my head I was going to ignore you, but now it sounds very relevant.
We will all die.
Yeah, sounds like it. So I think for once we have a plan.
Woo! Galaxy Guardians!
We'll workshop it.
All right.
I just start shaking everyone's hand.
Did you want to read out the note now? Or?
Yeah, I'll read out the note.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Father,
Oh,
I have one last favour to ask of you.
the big
As I'm sure you are aware, Aetul is in the sky blocking the massive tear. I have met in Tentrees 2 characters that I believe are the key in helping to close this rift, and I need a written document of approval to leave my post and be assigned to deal with this situation. Hopefully this will be the last time you hear from me until I have cleared my name and restored my honour. Forever in your debt, Julian Redhorn.
Julian! Ooh, stop it!
Move it.
And Prim takes Wynn away to deliver the letter.
Fuck you, you got a falcon.
We have a falcon.
It's the captain's falcon.
My only request of the falcon is that every time I do assassin shit that it goes.
So,
I can't speak of animals constantly like, do it now!
so
You're my hype guy.
the crew gathered, a destination chosen. You set off. Aetul lingering behind you, the tear there, but open sea and adventure, and Emmett up on the crow's nest going, woo! As you sail away.
It's a great final shot. That's such a good final shot.
All right. Thank you so much for watching.
That was fun. That was a really cool epilogue. It was good.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll, that's kind of a wrap for a bit. We'll be
Let's
back
play
in
20 questions.
some amount of time. We're not sure exactly how much.
Join us for our talk show, which is called something else.
Yeah, it's
On some platform.
called Talks Makota.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It's making a Talks Makota joke.
Fucking obvious.
I'm sure no one on the internet
Jesus
knew that.
Christ.
I thought you were just making fun of me for having a terrible name.
Yeah.
What's cool?
No one knows. No one's heard of that.
No, it doesn't
No.
exist.
Tiny.
Goodbye!
See.
Fuck you!